Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to episode 54 of the X Button Gaming Podcast. In this episode, I have a couple of returning guests here with me today. I got Jarret, the father-to-be, here joining me. The Mario RPG aficionado.
That's right. I got both of those going on.
Those are two things that identify me. And then I have Jimi back.
Hello,
for a
everybody.
Not Collector's Edition episode.
Hello.
He's back, and he's saying hello.
Hello.
All right, so before we get started, Jarret, the most important question that anybody could ever ask you right now, as the reoccurring guest on the podcast, is, what did you think of the Mario RPG remake?
Just the existence of it just makes me happy.
It doesn't even matter if the game was
existence.
crap. It was just the fact that it exists.
Just knowing this was, a 20-plus-year-old game, which people have written off, it's never going to happen, be it a sequel, remake, and there it is right there. So just its very existence makes me happy, and playing it even makes me happier.
That is a plus.
Did you finish it?
Oh, yes, and I'm doing another run.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I heard there's some pretty decent post-game stuff that wasn't there before.
Yeah, they add a little bit. It's not like really full in depth, but it's basically like a extra boss battle.
Oh,
A
cool.
little harder and stuff. So I do enjoy that. Just a little extra, and then there's also some bonus items and weapons characters get from beating them.
Ooh. So that's exciting. I actually, and as a serious sin, because I do love the game, I still haven't even touched it yet.
Why?
No.
I just
Why?
was like, I don't know. I was just one thing after another. I haven't started it yet. And now with Rebirth coming out next week, it's going to be a little while longer. But it is on my docket to play this year. Like, I need to play it.
Well,
Same.
here's the secret. You don't need to sleep.
Oh,
Just
sleep
take out
is for the
sleep.
week.
Yeah, it is. There's 8 hours right there. You're
I know,
good.
man. If I
You're
just
good.
do that, then I could probably finish it in a couple days.
Done.
Man,
Take
good
your sleeping
call.
pills. Sleeping pills will sleep for you.
Oh,
There it is.
So
Wait,
I
is
don't
that how
actually take the pill.
is that how it works?
I dump it out next to me, and then it all my sleep goes into that.
Yeah.
That's where it goes. Yes.
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 So, but overall,
Science.
worthy remake. You
Very
enjoyed it.
good. Yeah, very good remake. Really enjoy it.
Good. What would you rate it if you had to rate it? In comparison to the first one, say Jarret thinks the original Mario RPG is a 10 out of 10.
And it is.
What would you rate the remake? Is it just as good, or is it just a little bit less, or a little bit better? Would it be a 10.5 out of 10? I mean, that's impossible.
Ooh.
You can't.
You
Okay,
can't
go
double stamp a triple
That's
stamp.
kind of
You can't double trap.
That's right. It's really hard to top the original, and it gets a lot right. It gets a lot right. There's just always those little nitpicky things that prevent it from being a perfect, but it's really close there. There's just like a couple little things where just because of the kind of the modern gaming or the modern style things, like for example, which I would have liked to have, SNES, there wasn't voices or sounds like that, but I feel like a good balance instead of full on voice acting, maybe like Mario Odyssey and even Mario Wonder, where it's like they make sounds, like the little gerbil sound, like characters, so then you could kind of mimic the text boxes with sounds, just to make it a little more
little lively.
a little
Yeah.
more lively. I think even just that little bit kind of reminds me of what's kind of issues with Pokemon games where there's not the voice acting or even sound, so it feels
Yeah.
not as alive, but even just
Yeah.
sounds like Mario Odyssey did that perfectly, where it not full on voice acting, but the characters have the sound, so then you could kind of mimic. It brings life to it.
I agree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I understand that. So if, say 5 years from now, you're like, I want to play Mario RPG. It's been a little bit. What would you play? Would you play the remake, or would you go back to the Super Nintendo one?
I would probably.
Or are they interchangeable now, where sometimes you'll be like, I want to play the remake, or sometimes you'll want to play the Super Nintendo one?
Because the remake is on the Switch, and that's so easy to play and pick up and go. I have it on the Classic, so I do able to play the original stuff. It's just the easy pick up and go of the Switches, because they did do some modern kind of ease of stuff, or it's easy to, you can warp to different areas, and there's definitely some of those convenience things, and they improved on the items where there's not a limit of how much total items you have. There's like a max per item as opposed to the whole box. So there's some convenience there that's nice, but I love them both. I still think that the one that's dear to my heart is going to be the
Yeah.
original,
OG.
but it's just the convenience of the new one, which is nice.
And the OG is not on NSO. It's not on
No,
NSO?
it's not.
That's
No.
surprising, honestly, because
Why
it
would
is
they
on the
want to
Classic.
take away from their sales
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
remake?
Yeah, that's probably why you won't see it for a while. But I bet down the line, we'll probably get the OG on NSO.
I
Yeah,
really
once
hope
they've
so.
made the sales, what reason do they have not to?
Yeah.
I just don't see why. Eventually, I hope so, because it's usually a lot of Nintendo games that are on the NSO where it's not other companies, since there's another company involved, because
Yeah.
now they're not making money, the other company. I assume it's not like, as opposed to the classic SNES where a portion of the sale went to the publisher. So I would hope it would, because that would change it, make it a lot easier to play. But I still have the itch to play the original again. Of course, you know.
Yeah.
I gotta at least do that once a year.
My like interrogation question about Super Mario RPG for you,
the
master of Mario RPG, is I heard that the reimagined soundtrack of it is actually really good.
It is.
Do you prefer it or the original kind of, I don't know, OG music soundtrack?
Really back and forth by the soundtrack, because there's certain ones where the original I still enjoy more. Kind of like one example. Overall, I like Booster Tower, the original, because there's like a certain sound that really clicked really well with the level, and the new one where it's updated and sounds great, like a lot of parts, but there's certain instrument sounds where it's like it doesn't quite hit right. But back and forth, like I just switch it back and forth, and it's really good. Like no complaints. It's like I like it overall. I go back and forth. There's certain ones I like more. The classic. The new one's good too.
I love that they include that feature that you can switch back and forth between the OG music and the reimagined music. That's so cool.
It's really good, and it's seamless too, which is really nice.
Is it just like is it like an option?
Yeah, if you go to the option. Yeah, just under option, we're able to change some of the settings where just like it's classic or the remake, and it's just that quick and easy.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, no, I'm glad that you enjoyed it so much. I do look forward to playing it because it is still on my list of RPGs. It is really high. Like I love that game. I feel like after the last episode, it would have been sacrilegious not to ask you what you thought of it.
Hey, we got a Mario RPG epilogue right here.
That's true. That's true. This is the conclusion. And anything else exciting going on in your life?
Well, let's see. In another month, I will be a dad. That's right.
Now we can really call you Daddy Jarret.
That's right, Daddy Jarret. Move over, Daddy Sakurai. We got Daddy Jarret here. Daddy Jarret Bear.
Daddy Jarret Bear.
But yeah, April 2nd's the due date, so it could be within this month. So or next month could be the end of March. It could be beginning of April, somewhere around there.
I'm excited for you guys.
That's awesome.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Be fun to meet the new video game prodigy in the making.
Mm-hmm. I will train her right. It is going to be a girl, so I'll train her right.
I believe it. All right, James, how you been, man?
I've been good.
Good. I've been good. Anything you want to share? Anything new that you feel like the podcast listeners need to hear?
Man,
I'm putting them on the spot. I didn't tell either of them I was going to ask these questions.
What do the podcast listeners
I'm adding
need
a new flair
to know? What you need to know is that video games are really cool. Let's talk about them more.
Yeah, okay. James is lame. Here I tried.
I appreciate the question, though. I really appreciate your...
So what we've learned here is Jarret has a lot going on in his life, and James is lame.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody asked me that question, it would be very boring, too. So
we kind of knew the answer, though.
I appreciate your sincere personal interest, though. That was kind of you.
I do care. I care more when I'm recording this podcast than I do any other time.
That's fair.
I'm just messing with you. But all right, well, let's go ahead and move into the episode. So let's go ahead and talk about what we've been playing. And Jimmy, let's start with you.
All right. So I'm going to subject you guys to some Spider-Man 2 talk, and really just Spider-Man Insomniac in general. Guys, I played a lot of this game initially when it first came out, probably like 50% of it. I think I played through the story 50%. And I took a break for a number of reasons. I was preparing for a VGC tournament, and also I wanted to give my hands a break because there was a little bit of an issue. I hate that I bring this up every time. I don't mean to, but there wasn't. I wanted to give my hands a break. I came back to it just like a couple weeks ago, and now I am I think I'm like 90 or 95% done according to the like story or how it tracks it. So I'm very close to being through the main story. I feel like I can trigger the finale right now if I wanted to. I love it. I think it's really, really good. I think the second half of the game is, the first half feels very samey, which is still very good, consistent, like just really fun action combat gameplay. But like the second half is super strong. And like right now, I'm just taking time to finish trophies and just side stories and kind of clean up the stuff I want to clean up before I finish the game. But it's really, really good.
I'm excited to hear that. And it does mean a lot because there's two reasons. One, you're a big Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
So that it means that it must be good. And two, you're a big PlayStation hater. So if it's good, if he can openly say how good it is, it means that it's good.
What can I say? If it was good on Xbox, I would say it was good on Xbox. If it was bad on Xbox, I genuinely feel like I'd say it was bad on Xbox.
I believe it. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, it's cool. I know. I think that's the beautiful thing about this podcast is we all have different preferences, but I just want to like dive into this because I've never really got to talk about it at length. I feel like there's so many things that Insomniac has done about this game that make it like just really, really good. And not just this game, like this is kind of just generally speaking for Spider-Man 1, Miles Morales in this game. Is it okay if we talk about this first?
Oh, yeah, no,
okay,
so we're talking about it.
Okay, what they get right, generally speaking, New York City, like fundamental to Spider-Man, just in general, Spider-Man lore, right? One journalist described this game, Spider-Man 2, as a full-blown tourism sim. Would you agree on some level?
Yeah, I mean, it's so fun to look. There's so much to look at, even more so than Spider-Man 1, which I remember it being very detailed, but it feels a little more alive. Because in Spider-Man 1, it didn't take long to see the same NPCs on different streets. There's a lot going on in this game.
Yeah, it's true. It feels very alive, dude. Like, and for those who haven't played this game, like, which is not a lot of, most people have probably heard of it, but like, this is an open world game where New York City is your playground. Like, the entirety of Manhattan, the main island that people picture when they picture New York City. Plus, as of Spider-Man 2, parts of Brooklyn and parts of Queens. These are all travelable on the map. And it's like, it's not like a perfect recreation of the city of New York, but like, if I didn't know that, like, I wouldn't be able to tell. And I honestly wonder if like a lot of New Yorkers would even be able to tell that this isn't like a replica of New York City, you know? And I would love to hear from actual New Yorkers, frankly. Please hit us in the comments. But this game is like so uniquely cool in that you basically get a helicopter tour of the like most iconic parts of New York over and over again as you traverse the map and like you advance the story, except obviously like Spidey is the helicopter. And he's a lot cooler than a helicopter, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And like you were saying, dude, like the detail in the city is like, it's beautiful, dude. Like, you can climb the Empire State Building, you can take pics on the ice at Rockefeller Center, you can like one of the big scenes in Spider-Man 2 takes place on Coney Island at the theme park. Like it feels like you're living and breathing in New York City, like the comic book or like some of the better movies, you know. Like, you often swing by an arena that is clearly like a generic version of Madison Square Garden. And like, when I do, I always wish I could pop in for like a Knicks game or a Rangers game. I'm like, it sounds stupid, but like, no joke, every time I turn off the game, like, I walk away like wanting to visit New York City. Like, that's how like
nice.
like immersive the game feels. Like, all these games kind of feel it, but especially Spider-Man 2, you feel that for sure, dude.
That's awesome. I mean, they really did hit it, but I mean, I think you spent a lot more time in it than I have, and it sounds like they just really got the feel for it, and they understood the assignment, which was to make the city feel alive.
Yeah, it's so fundamental, right, to Spider-Man. Like,
yeah, it's like its own character.
I was going to say New York is supposed to be another character in this series.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, Spider-Man's the main character, but is it really? Like, I'm not sure it is. Like without New York City, you don't have Spider-Man. Without his like attachment to the like people and the relationships, like, Spider-Man isn't Spider-Man, and that's what makes him so relatable. That's what makes him more grounded. That's what makes him like arguably the most popular superhero, period, right? Like, Batman maybe number one, maybe a close second, I'm not sure. That's probably debatable, but like for example, there was like one, I wanted to talk about this because it was really cool. There's this one, like, okay, so let me, advance warning, slight side story spoilers here, okay?
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. If you don't want to hear a spoiler, skip now to 3 minutes from now or something. So there's a recurring character named Howard who, I don't know if you know him or not. He's homeless, and he's like the caretaker of all these like pigeons that he inherited from his like late wife. So it's like it's very like Home Alone 2. You know, the creepy pigeon lady. Oh yeah. But like, he's not creepy, I don't think. But like,
he's not.
There's like similar vibes. But he's like a sweet man who asks Spider-Man to sit with him. Like, just sit down with me. Like, and they're like on the west edge of Manhattan, and they're just like taking in the scenery. And like, the game obviously is gorgeous. They put a crap ton of money into this game. And it like opens up about his past and like the things, his like loss and the pain he's gone through in his life. And then like in this Spider-Man 2, he asks Spider-Man to find a new home for the pigeons, and you're not really exactly sure why. He doesn't give you any reason why he needs this to happen.
One of the side quests in the first game was helping him find pigeons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they do it again in this one. But
do you remember doing it in this game?
I feel like I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't had this discussion.
Okay.
But
go ahead. So yeah, so again, he asks you to like, I need to find a home for these pigeons. He doesn't really give you any context for that. Doesn't tell you why. So you're like, sure, why not? And so you're swinging through the city after that scene with all these pigeons in tow. There's like this really emotional like song playing, and like the sun is setting, and like it's gorgeous, and it's like heart-wrenching. It's beautiful. Like it's such a cool moment in a video game, honestly. Like it feels so Spider-Man. And then I honestly don't want to say how the story ends. I'd rather prefer people play through this and see how that side story ends. But like I said, it's really like it hits you. It's kind of a really, really, really cool, one of the more like touching moments in this game. I felt like that just felt personal, and it felt, I don't know, just relatable. And like that's one of the, again, it just feels fundamental to Spider-Man, like how he relates to just normal people, and how he's normal himself, and he has struggles in life, and he has like girl problems, he has work problems. He just like struggles, and he's clumsy through life, and the only thing he's not clumsy in is being a superhero, you know. And like, yeah, anyways, I thought it was like, I'm getting like kind of emotional thinking about it, but like it was really good, dude. It was honestly, it was really good, and it felt like a one-shot story you'd have in a Spider-Man comic book. And like that just like, to me, it shows you how much I think Insomniac grasps Spider-Man as a concept. Like they understand Spider-Man very well.
Yeah.
And
which is so nice, because nowadays, I mean, for years, but still nowadays, you see so many companies get their hands on an IP and make a lifeless port or lifeless vision of it. Like they don't truly understand the characters. They don't truly understand the story, and they're just, it's a money grab.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's so nice to see somebody take the time to make something where they obviously did their research, and they obviously put their heart and soul into knowing this character and making it come across.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, dude, this is just like, so we've talked about is New York City, and like how they understand Spider-Man well, and that doesn't even get into like how awesome the traversal in this game is. Like they ramped it up in Spider-Man 2, how incredible the combat is. Like, man, the options between being able to fight with Miles and Peter Parker, and I mean, at one point in the game, this is probably a slight spoiler too, like you do take control of Venom, and it feels like you're the Incredible Hulk, dude. It feels sick. Like it's really cool. The traversal especially, like it used to be you're just obviously like spinning webs and swinging through skyscrapers, but now like there's this power up you get like not too far into the game. I think it's called, took a note here, but it's called web wings.
Oh, where you can actually float.
And you can like power it up, and you can add like little things where you kind of like click like L1 and R, and you like pop up, or you get like a boost too. So like you're essentially moving through New York like in short bursts, kind of like Superman.
Oh wow.
But so you're like alternating between swinging on your webs, and then web wings, and then like point launches where you're launching off buildings, like just like navigating New York City in this game is almost maybe as fun as like actually the actual combat. And the combat is like, it's so good, dude. Like it's like
all the gadgets and stuff.
It's top tier action video game combat. It really is. Like, yeah, there's very few games where I play and I'm just like smiling ear to ear while I'm doing it. I'm like, man, this is just so good, But yeah, do I have anything else to say? No, this is just a really good game. They spent like $300 million on it, so it shows.
And it shows. Okay, good.
It's just a really good game, dude. And I think if I had to reassess my game of the year, it wouldn't be number one still, but it'd be a very close second.
Yeah.
Very close second.
Well, like I said already, that's pretty high praise coming from you. And like, I did play, I think I even mentioned on the last episode, like I had been playing it, but I kind of fell off, got a little bored, a little too open worldy for me. But yeah, just listening to you talk about it makes me realize that I didn't get far enough either. Like I was probably a quarter of the way in, story-wise.
Yeah.
And I do think sometimes with a game like this, I need to get through a portion of the story to get me hooked, and then I can do the side stuff.
Yeah.
And I struggle with any open world game because I want to do all this. I want to clean up all those little exclamation marks or whatever else they show on the screen before I go on to the next story. And sometimes it's not realistic, and in this case, it might not be realistic. I might need to just focus on the story. But I need to go back to it. And
and again, I think you're gonna be like part of it. Obviously, is I'm not without bias. Like you said, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, like bigger than most people, and Spider-Man is huge. So, but like, yeah, it's just really good, and I haven't even finished it yet, but I have zero doubts that they're going to finish it strong, because it's just been the second half, I gotta say, very, very strong. Like, it definitely picks up and gets better, especially as you power up and get certain power ups that make just certain like aspects of the game just cooler, better, you know.
No, I appreciate you sharing that with us. That's exactly what this podcast is for people to talk about how their passion for a game when they really are enjoying it, or series or whatever. So
it just tells me, like, to me, it's just like another, not a footnote at all, but like, man, video games last year were killer. Like, there were so many bangers, and this was just one of them.
Yeah, 2023 was ridiculous.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2 is cool, guys. Play it. You can play it on PC too. PC, PlayStation.
Is it out on PC?
Is it on? Well, maybe not PC yet for PlayStation.
I don't know.
Spider-Man 2. I'm not sure. I would think sooner or later it will be.
Yeah, most of their games have been coming to PC.
Start on Spider-Man 1. You eventually get to Spider-Man 2. They're all good.
And Miles Morales was fun too.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you been playing anything else? Spider-Man.
Mainly just Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Yeah, mainly just Spider-Man 2.
I get it. No, well, thanks for sharing that with us. I need
Sorry
to go back
to make it a Spidey cast, but
no.
Well, Spider-Man's good. Yeah. Now, you're just hoping for that company. I go to Sony. Can now make a movie like this. Stop doing what you're doing.
As much as I complain about Sony, like, obviously I know they got the chops when they want to, right? They get the right people on the job. You get something like Spider-Verse. You get the wrong people on the job. You get something like, what's the movie that just came out?
Madam Web.
Oh, gosh.
I haven't seen one person say anything positive about that movie.
It makes me sad, man. It makes me sad.
At least Morbius turned into a meme. Like, I think that was almost like a win for it in itself. It was so memeable that people watched it. I don't know. Madam Web seems to be falling pretty hard.
I morbed hard on an airplane too. I can't remember where I was going to, but I watched it. I think it was on the way to Japan. I watched Morbius, and I was just laughing in my chair. And it's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Nothing. It's just so stupid. It's funny."
It's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
Good stuff. I watched most of the movie, and I thought it was a little bit better than people gave it credit for, but it wasn't. I wasn't impressed.
Yeah,
it was entertained, but I'm easy to entertain. Well, Jarrett, what have you been playing?
It's been a mix of Mario RPG, which is hard to believe because I've been.
Wait, you like that game?
I pick it up every once in a while. I've been doing just an HP only run where you just add the points to HP, because it makes it a little bit harder because you're not doing as much damage, you're taking more damage, you're not able to output as much. I remember doing it as a kid where you didn't understand like how the bonuses work. So I thought, I'll throw an HP, then I have to worry about it, and it made the game just a little bit harder. So just add a little challenge.
Yeah, why not? Give you another reason to play through it again.
I just gotta keep going. Gotta keep going. Gotta get my RPG fits, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it. What? And you've been playing anything else?
I was doing like some shiny hunting on Scarlet and Violet, which is kind of hard to play because it's just gameplay wise, it's hard. From the technical standpoint.
Yeah.
Oh, technically, it is difficult. Yeah, I think gameplay is pretty good, but yeah, like it's hard to ignore the issues that are just like right, literally in front of your eyes. You're like,
oh god, what is happening?
Why am I doing this to myself?
Because Pokemon's really cool. That's why, Jarrett.
Make Pokemon great. Wait, what? But that's been about it.
Yeah,
I get it. As far as me, let's see. I've been kind of just playing small stuff as I get prepared for Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I haven't wanted to get too invested in a big game that I felt like that I would end up dropping just before Rebirth comes out. I do need to go back to Spider-Man 2, and I just bought a PlayStation Portal. It'll make it a little easier to do some of the side stuff, I think, because then because I want to play like the story stuff on a TV, but like a lot of the side stuff I could do just in handheld mode during other stuff. So, but in the meantime, going through just some random stuff. I played Mutant Mudds on the Vita. Mutant Mudds Deluxe. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's a platformer built in the very much so like that 8 to 16-bit look. Did you
I played it on 3DS. It was on 3DS, right?
Yeah, that's where I think I played it originally.
Like a little blonde dude with glasses with a jetpack.
Yep.
Oh.
I love my crappy memory working this time.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. I found it at a GameStop, the Vita copy with the case and everything it was like $15, and I'm like, you see Vita games complete so rarely. I was like, I'm gonna buy it just because. And then I was like, it's been a while since I played this. I'll run through it real quick. 'Cause I remembered it not being very long. And yeah, as far as platformers go, like I love platformers. It's probably, other than RPGs, is probably my main go-to. But they're easier to go to more often than RPGs because they're usually shorter.
Yeah.
And yeah, I probably didn't take me more than 10 hours to play through. So there's the base game, which is the first like 12 worlds. I played through all that really quickly, probably one sitting. But then you have like the ghost world, where it's the same worlds, but like you can't actually kill any of the enemies. So you have to work a little bit more defensively. And then they have the granny challenges where you have to get all the coins. So long story short, I played it all. I did it all. It's a very straightforward platformer. It gets a little tricky in some of the later levels, but never super hard. It's a fun game. Like, I don't regret playing it. Like I said, I've spent less than 10 hours on it probably. It's one of those that I could see myself maybe playing again in 10 years if I wanted to. It's probably how long it's been since I played it last time. If I wanted just another, like, a short platformer.
Have they added any content to it? Because I remember really liking it when I played it.
So that's what I was going to say. This was called Mutant Mudds Deluxe, and I don't remember having like the Ghost World area.
Oh, okay.
So I could be wrong. I just don't remember.
I don't remember Deluxe being part of the original title, honestly.
I don't. Yeah, I could have played it, and maybe it had that stuff, and I just only played the base levels. But I'm pretty sure I never played past that.
Yeah.
Because I think it's 12. 4, 8, 12. There's 20. There's 20 levels on the main screen. And I know I played those before, but I don't think I did all the other stuff before. So it might have been the game released as just Mutant Mudds with just those 20 levels, and then. But don't quote me on that because I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. It's not. I don't know what I'd rate it, but if somebody's looking for a basic platformer, it's usually pretty cheap too. I think if you were to buy it digitally.
I'd say like an 8, just from very minimal memory. Honestly, I thought it was pretty fun. 8 out of 10. I don't know. I thought it was pretty fun.
I'd say probably more like a 7.
7.
It's pretty basic.
7.5. X Plus.
Well, middle there. And the other thing I just recently started, but I'm really enjoying it. I had never played it before. And that's SteamWorld Heist.
Oh.
So it's part of the SteamWorld universe. So SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then recently SteamWorld Build, which I haven't played that yet. But I've had this. I don't even know. I don't even remember buying. It was either free on PlayStation Plus or I bought it at some point. Because I had it on my games and I was looking for things to basically test the PlayStation Portal out. Because I wanted to start small before I try anything online. So I started with this, which, by the way, it's flawless. There's no lag at all.
Nice.
But that's besides the point. The game itself, so it takes place in that the SteamWorld universe. But unlike the first two games, which are like a Metroidvania / like Dig Dug type mix of a game, this is like a strategy action RPG. Like I think best game to compare it to would be either XCOM or Mario Rabbids, where you have mobility, where you can move it's not like a tactics RPG where you have a grid. You can move them in like a certain area that you want to, and then you you take your turn to attack, and then it's physics based where you have guns or grenades or whatever else, and some guns have like a laser on them, which makes it easy to shoot where you want to. But other than that, you have to use your eye to try to line up your shot to where you want it to go. And I'm playing it on not the hardest difficulty, but the one below it, veteran. And I'll say, like, I've thoroughly enjoyed this game. I have died a lot because I'm being too stubborn to drop it down in difficulty, because I want to do it on this difficulty so that I can move right on to the highest difficulty, which I think is elite when I finish it. That's for trophy purposes, but I'm thorough. It's a lot of fun. Like, I like the strategy aspect of it. I like every level is randomly generated too. Like, I've just realized that as I've been playing it, because sometimes I go in and I'm like I can't get around these guys. There's explosive barrels everywhere. They're blowing me up at every turn. But then one time I lost to this level seriously 5 times in a row, and then went in the 6th time. No higher, smarter person probably would have went back and leveled up and came back. But no, I'm like, I'm going to try it again. I've lost all my resources.
I'm up to this.
So then I tried again and I steamrolled it. But I think it was just because the level layout made it a little easier. I had places where I could lob my grenades a little bit better behind multiple enemies. But as I've been playing this, I've realized just how much I really like the SteamWorld universe. Because I like SteamWorld Dig 1 a lot. SteamWorld Dig 2 was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was.
And when I knew this game existed, because it was on Wii U even, so it's been out for a while. And I don't know why I've never played it, but I think this is a universe that they've done a really good job of building really good games from.
Yeah.
Because those first 2 games were very, same style, but 2 was a great improvement over 1, and 1
Yep.
was great. But this is a completely different game, and it's also great. So, like, they kind of, like, they know what they're doing. Like, I like this, I think that's one of my favorite things that doesn't happen very often, but you're seeing a little bit more with indie developers, is when they take their universe and branch it out. Like, why not, like, build within your own universe and make different kinds of games and make different stories? Like, Shovel Knight's another one that's doing a lot of that. Like, it's not just Shovel Knight. They have the pocket puzzle, whatever it's called, the puzzle game, and then Shovel Knight Dig, where it is kind of like an endless digging game. And I just think, like, I like that. And this is really, like, I'm really enjoying this game. That's really what it comes down to.
I remember buying this game. What's it called again?
SteamWorld
Heist. I think I played for like 15 minutes, and I probably downloaded some other game. But like, it's just reminded me of, like, they weren't the glory days for Nintendo, but they were like an awakening for so many. I feel an awakening in the Force. It was like an awakening for so many people that were Nintendo fans primarily. Like, just so many indie games showed up on 3DS and like Wii U first, and like it just like opened our eyes to a lot of cool things. And you're right, they just develop good games, man. They do. Like, SteamWorld Dig is so good too, especially. Yeah,
2's phenomenal. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying this game. But you're right too. The Wii U, like, honestly, the lack of support on as far as like first and third parties support goes, really helped me branch out in my indie game playing, because I wanted to play my Wii U. So I did buy a lot of stuff on the Wii U. Like, I bought SteamWorld Dig on the Wii U, and I bought like Toki Tori 2, and like there's a bunch of other games that I bought that I probably would not have played if like on the Switch, like they've done nothing but pump out hits. But because of that, I play a lot more indie games.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, maybe at some point that would have happened anyway, but the Wii U definitely helped me with that, because it was where we got any kind of content for years.
By the time the Switch launched, we were kind of conditioned to downloading indie games. Like, they did a pretty good job in that regard. Like, a lot of the games we're talking about, they were like the first time I saw them, and probably you too, were at like Nindies at Night in Seattle or PAX, or both. There was such an effort, because they didn't have a lot of first party support to just really feature really good games like that. It was a fun time in a different way.
No, I totally agree. But on the positive note too, for SteamWorld Heist, they did release on the Wii U a physical copy of it that came with SteamWorld Dig 1. So it is it's a slightly more rare title. It's not one of the most expensive, but it's a little bit more up there.
SteamWorld Dig 1 plus Heist.
Yeah, I don't think 2 is on it. I think it's 1 and Heist. But
weird.
That's quite a jump. 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Strange.
I don't think Heist came out before 2.
I don't think.
But to be fair, I don't know when they came out. So
yeah.
But either way, I think it's kind of a cool combo pack. And as far as I know, I don't know if it's.
Is it on
Heist
is it on Switch or is it 3DS?
That was on Wii U.
Oh, Wii U.
Yeah. I don't. It might have a physical copy elsewhere. I could be wrong, but I just think it's cool that it got a physical release on Wii U.
That's cool.
All right, so that'll conclude what we've been playing. So we're going to go ahead and move into the main topic, which for this episode, we actually had a different topic planned out, but because of the drop of the Nintendo Direct, as of this recording, it was yesterday. So I talked to Jarret, and I was like, how about we just change up and just talk about the Direct instead, because it was going to be me and Jarret originally. So he agreed, and then we decided to add James into the mix so that we could have a discussion. Yeah, so I mean, Nintendo Directs are always fun, and there's basically 3 kinds of Directs. There's the Indie Direct, there's the Partner Directs, and then there's the main type of Direct. And then they do other side stuff too, like obviously the Pokemon Presents, or like
sure.
They'll do Directs focused on specific games.
Yeah,
but that's kind of their core, is those 3 types of Directs
for sure.
And this was a Partner Direct. So basically, instead of talking about first party stuff, they were talking about things released by their different partners that they've teamed up with for whatever else. So we're going to talk about, some games we'll talk a little about, some games we'll talk more about, but we're going to go through the list and just kind of discuss it. But before that, I didn't ask on Instagram, so I do apologize. I just felt like it would be too hard to rein in the responses, because on Instagram it's so hard to get responses that are longer. Discord, you can get people talking a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I did leave this to just Discord, but I did ask that since we're getting a direct, I wanted to know, hear people's predictions. What do you think we will see in the direct, or what do you hope to see in the direct? So it didn't have to be any level of realism. They could go on a limb and say whatever they wanted if it was just a hope.
Dream big.
And that's, we got some of that, and that's what I wanted. And this turned in on the Discord. So if you're not on the Discord and you want to be, there's an invite on my Instagram through the link tree. But yeah, it turned into a discussion. People got talking, and but we're just going to break down just the responses that were basic hopes or what they think they'll see. So me and Jarret are going to run through through these together. But to start off, Ben Livid said he hopes to see Penny, which is not just a person, but Penny's Big Breakaway.
Yep.
Hi-Fi Rush and Pizza Tower were the three that he'd hope to see announced.
That's right. Then Tenderfoot Ace, something new. I want that really great game that shows up at the end of all console life and holds me over till the new Switch comes out. Also, Deca Police and Layton.
Heck yeah.
So something new for sure, but also the games that I know are coming out, I want to hear more of.
Yes.
I get that, bro.
Yeah.
And then our very own Jarret said Banjo 3E. He wants to see the series continue.
Yep.
Or at least a Banjo-Kazooie 2E HD port. He said, I haven't played the second one, but I have fond memories of the first one.
I did. I was kind of hoping, I was thinking like games that got that little remake or just the HD port, like Ocarina of Time on 3DS, just still maintain the same style or just kind of a little updated, but you could dream.
I agree. And to be fair, the rumor mill says that Microsoft has commissioned a new Banjo game.
Is it really?
So
that's pretty exciting.
But once again, that's just the rumor mill.
It would make
who knows
sense
if it's true, but
I would love that.
me too. And then let's see here. Alex Stravaganza said he's pretty sure we'll see some ports, more solid info about previously announced titles, a Shadow Drop or two, and a few brand new games. And that's just a guess. But that's just a guess. Also, it's me, Pyoro. No, Pyoro is not in the Discord.
Nope.
But yeah, Alex, that was a pretty good guess because that's pretty much a direct.
Yeah.
He hedged his bets and he scored.
He did.
Yeah. Let's see here. Next was our very own Jimmy. He said, yeah, like Rodney bringing up Deca Police reminds me that I really want to see Fantasy Life this year. It could once again be a wonderful bow to wrap up a console cycle because it kind of did that with 3DS.
3DS, yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
And then what did CG Jaden say, Jarret?
Let's see. He had a couple of them. Here we got Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 HD plus Tron, Bones, Minions. Then we got Sea Thieves. Then Castlevania DS Collection, Stray. And last, Penny's Big Bean Burrito. Let's go.
Oh, man. He wants the sequel already.
Yeah, baby.
Penny's Big Bean Burrito. Now I see why James later said Bowser's Big Bean Burrito.
Yep.
Let's
Classic.
see. Vomnik said Halo on the Switch. That would have been a huge shocker.
Yeah, it would
I think like if they did a port of Halo 1, like you didn't even have to do the anniversary collection, but just a port of Halo 1 with multiplayer, that would sell a lot.
Yeah.
Even if you could just do LAN, like local multiplayer, I think the Switch is the perfect system for it.
Yeah.
I would be rolling on the floor, crying tears of joy, probably, maybe.
Tears of the James.
Tears at the James. Tears at the Jimmy.
Of the Jimmy.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up with what Now I Rock a Teller Suit said, Jarret.
Let's see. Like others have said, good chance we'll see the Xbox games rumored to go cross-gen on here. Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush. Could also see Sega games that were teased at the Game Awards, like Crazy Taxi and JSRF.
Jet Set Radio.
Whoa.
Yeah, so as you see, like going through this, if you've already watched the Direct, some of these things did get mentioned. Some of these things did not. But it's always fun to see like what people are predicting or what people hope. I definitely would have liked to have seen more about Deca Police as well, because that game looks pretty cool, but there's so little info on it right now.
Yeah.
It's one of those mini level 5 games that they announced in a very short window. And man, Mega Man Legends 1, I'm playing that right now. Oh, that's something I'm playing. I didn't even think about that.
Tell us, please.
Now we're going to step back a second. Mega Man Legends 1, I love that game. I don't know how I forgot that I've been playing it, but I guess I kind of mentioned it briefly on the last episode, but the game oozes charm. Like for being a PS1 game, the only complaint I have, I think I mentioned already, is like it was before analog sticks. So even though I have a controller with analog sticks, it doesn't use them. So it's a little like you strafe with L1 and R1, and so it can get a little rough. But once I figured it out, it plays perfectly. But man, that game, the I can look at that game all day, and it is genuinely an ugly PS1 game, but it looks so good. Like I can't even explain it. It's like the art direction, like the characters' faces, everything, so good. So
That's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'd like to see a Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 HD as well, Jaden. Now that I'm barely into the series, but yeah, good stuff, man. All right, so let's get into the discussion of the Direct. So,
See who was right and who was wrong.
yeah, we'll see a few of them here. So to start off, they showed off a trailer for the game Grounded, which to me read as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the video game.
Pretty much. That's basically it.
So this was a game that was made by the Xbox Game Studios. So apparently it's probably already either on PC or Xbox
Probably.
Game Pass or something. I believe I'd heard of this game before, but I'm not super familiar with it. It's definitely not something to me that I was like, wow, I gotta play it. But I can see, like, especially for kids, like, it does seem like kind of intriguing, like, especially the fact that it's 4-player and it has like a Minecraft type setting too, where you can build your own environments and stuff, and all in this shrunken world where you're tiny and the bugs and animals are giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't know if it's something I'd play, but it looks creative. I like that.
It set a little bit of a trend for Xbox Studio games from Obsidian, right? Like Obsidian made this game, and Obsidian's made some really good stuff in the past that people loved forever. This is apparently a survival game first and foremost, but like Obsidian is known for like Knights of the Old Republic and like Fallout and some like bigger, like, I don't know, deep RPG elements, you know, and I guess they kind of merge some of those things, but I guess it's apparently a survival game first and foremost, and apparently it's pretty good. So if you want to play a survival game that isn't, you know, a complete ripoff of Pokemon, maybe try this game.
Wait, what game are you talking about?
I don't know. Well, frankly, that game's fun too, though.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
You know.
All right, so what they showed next, they showed Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Midst. So apparently this is a sequel to the 2021 title Ender Lilies, which I'd heard of, I knew existed, but I knew absolutely zero about until I saw this trailer and then did a little back digging into it. Oh my gosh. Are either of you guys familiar with Ender Lilies?
I wasn't until I watched the trailer and just a very minimal Google search, but very well received. Gets compared to what's the Hollow Knight? It gets compared to Hollow Knight a lot.
Oh, really?
Probably more for its art than actually maybe more for its difficulty than its art, but honestly for both reasons. It's apparently a tough. That phrase we use all the time. Everyone loves it. Trigger word, Metroidvania. It is one of those. But honestly, it kind of stands out if you look at it visually. I think it looks really pretty. It looks different. Apparently, the story is pretty good. At least in the first one, we should say, because this game hasn't launched yet. But yeah, the first one was pretty loved.
Yeah, that's what I found too. Like watching this trailer, I was like, this actually looks all right. It kind of has a bit of a gothic tone to it. Like it's a little dark.
Yeah.
But it definitely had some appeal to it because it has a nice platformy Metroidvania style gameplay. So it made me look into Ender Lilies a little bit more, and I think after doing a little more research, it made me want to go back and play that.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, we'll see if I actually get to it. But
and for those who are hoping for Silksong to be announced in this partner direct,
nope.
Apologies, but this might scratch that itch that she got a little bit. Maybe
scratchy.
Scratch that itch. Itchy scratchy.
Itchy and scratchy. Yeah. All right. The next we had a Ranger, which is a role-playing puzzler.
This looked cool.
Yeah, I thought it looked unique. My big thing with this trailer was I didn't actually know, like, with a puzzle game, like, you can look at it and be like, okay, this looks like it would actually be a challenge, or it'll actually take me some time to learn. I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. Obviously they're moving tiles, and, like, it looked like they're moving the character across tiles to try to get to a specific spot, and you have to keep things out of their way. But it needed a demo.
Yeah.
I think it dropping a demo after this would have worked, because I try to, especially if we're going to talk about it, the Direct, I try to download the demos to have something more to say. And I think the art looks really cool and the concept is cool. You know, it reminded me just slightly, even though it's not what I was going for. But I don't know if you remember, like in the 90s, the 3D puzzles were really big. The small little holdable ones where it was like a picture that you'd move around and then you'd have to move it back to figure out how to get it back together.
Yep.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of that, but on a much bigger scale where there's obviously a goal.
Yeah.
But unless I missed it, and you guys correct me if you recall, I don't know what the role playing aspect of the game was.
I don't know either.
They didn't say like, oh, you get to level up, or like this character has so much depth, because role playing can have multiple meanings nowadays.
It can.
But like I didn't see anything that said like that made that term, because it's in the name that they gave us, at least a role playing puzzler. I didn't see the role playing aspect stand out.
I will say, like, watching the trailer, which was pretty short, honestly. Like,
it was.
It gave
maybe
me
30 seconds.
what it first reminded me of, for whatever reason, was Crypt of the Necrodancer, specifically the Zelda one, where like it's like a weird merging of, I don't know, 2D Zelda with that was 2D Zelda plus rhythm. This seems like kind of sort of 2D Zelda plus puzzles. I don't know, because like every time you move, the rest of the map seems to move, which seems real. Like that sounds like there's a lot of really cool puzzle potential. Potential.
I mean, it looked all right. I don't know. I think this was. There's a lot of trailers here where I watched it and I was either like, yeah, all right, I don't care that much, or oh, that looks cool, I want to know more. This one I was definitely like, wow, I don't really know what I watched just now.
Yeah.
Like,
What is this?
Yeah.
But
which could be a good thing.
I love puzzle games, so like I want to know more. Like I said, I do really wish they would have dropped a demo, because I think that would have solved all of these questions and thoughts that we have. But
If it had been named A Ranger Maniac, would you feel differently about it?
I would probably have less questions.
If there was a mole hidden in the corner.
Ooh.
Oh!
Wait a
Mole
minute.
Mania, the sequel?
Wait a second.
Mole
Hold
Ranger
on.
Maniac.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Dude, a Mole Mania sequel.
Put that on your bingo card there.
It could be
That's
there.
never
It could
happening.
happen.
So the next was they showed some new footage for Unicorn Overlord, which is, they announced this probably like a year ago originally, I think in a direct back then.
I think it was.
So it's being developed by Vanillaware, who is the team that does the really beautiful action RPGs. Usually, they did Odin Sphere, 13 Sentinels, Dragon's Crown.
Did I see Atlas? Is that like in the
Atlas
Atlas
is the
umbrella?
publisher, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
So, which is always they tend to publish really good stuff. So, but yeah, Vanillaware is the development team.
Okay.
And it's a strategy RPG. I like, from what I've seen, I really like the concept of like the decisions that you can make. Like they've used, for an example, like they didn't show the outcome, but like the character you play as was talking to somebody, and you either had the option to recruit them or execute them. And that's a pretty big difference.
That's a big difference.
But I'd like to know, like, to me, I like that. It's not just recruit or like, no, go away, like that's some pretty high stakes. So like, why that big of a swing in either direction? Like, why would I want them on my team or to kill them? Like, it made
Offer
me
them a
want
piece
to know
of bread
more.
or kill them.
But I think the game looks pretty cool. It comes out really soon. March 8th, so it's like right around the corner as of the time of this recording. They dropped a demo for it, which I didn't download. My big thing is I have too many RPGs coming out in the next couple months, and RPGs are already the most time-consuming games.
Yes, they are.
So it's always hard for me, even though the developer has a lot of clout. They're good. They put out games I've played and I've enjoyed, but it's still a new IP, and it's also a tactical RPG, which I'm not as big into.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to take the plunge and say I want to dedicate my time to this before something else.
Yeah.
But I will say this. The collector's edition for this game is super cool.
Oh, yeah. And it's Atlas, so...
It comes with an actual deck-building card game. Like, its own, like, it's part of the collector's edition. I don't know if this card game is something in the game and it's a replica of it, or if it's its own thing they made for this collector's edition.
That's really cool.
But to me, like, most collector's editions are pretty generic. Like, you get an art book, a soundtrack, usually in digital form, maybe some kind of statue if you're lucky, and a steelbook. So, like, to me, like, this doesn't even have a steelbook. But it has the art book and the soundtrack and stuff. But this, like, the second I saw like a deck building card game,
Like,
it comes
wait a
with the
minute.
full thing. Like I was like, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a pretty neat collector's edition. So I don't know. Like, I've been flirting with for months. It was announced months ago. I've flirted with the idea of pre-ordering it, but I still haven't. But the game itself looks really cool. I don't know. Is something either of you guys have had any interest in possibly playing?
So, I mean, you said RPG, but like my vibe I got was RTS. Is it like real time strategy? I mean,
It's
maybe
like
you
a
said strategy too.
tactical
Like
RPG.
for me, like
Strategy RPG.
it's hard enough for me to bite for that when it's Fire Emblem. So like when it's something like this, I'm kind of like pass. No offense to people that love this. Like the only RTS that I'm like immediately like yes is Pikmin, and this is not Pikmin. But I'm kind of close-minded sometimes. But it does look pretty. It does look cool. It has the the pedigree with Atlas. It comes with a free demo right off the bat. So like that I mean, credit to them for doing that because they will get more people to buy the game because of that. And a collector's edition, that's pretty cool.
I'm still stuck on the fact. Did you just say Fire Emblem and Pikmin were both RTSs?
Isn't I'm okay.
I've been thinking about that.
Pikmin is definitely RTS.
Pikmin's an RTS, yeah.
Is Fire Emblem not RTS?
It's a tactical RPG or strategy RPG.
Okay, what's the difference?
Pikmin's a real-time strategy.
Oh, yes,
like StarCraft, where things happen in real time.
Yes. Okay, you're right.
Okay, I figured it was a slip, you didn't actually mean it.
I think the reason is because I got Fire Emblem vibes from this game, and
this is much closer to Fire Emblem than anything near Pikmin.
Okay, so I don't know. I'm confused right now.
So now I got to respond to Discord. Fire Emblem equals Pikmin. Says James.
Equals Unicorn Overload. So what we've learned from this is James is not playing Unicorn Overload. He doesn't even know what kind of game it is.
Full disclosure, I had some alcohol prior to the recording. And I don't drink very often. I blame Jer Bear.
We were trying to make it more fun, but now he's just an idiot. Oh, man.
But everything I said about Spider-Man earlier is totally true.
He had that written down, so it couldn't be wrong. Oh, man. Well, let's move on from Unicorn Overlord.
I'm never going to play that game.
We know.
What if they threw Pikmin in it, though?
Okay, maybe that. Maybe. Yeah.
Pikmin Overlord.
Yeah, Pikmin Overlord crossover, I am in. And plus you have the collector's edition with the deck building Pikmin. Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Done deal.
James is done, so.
Well, at least I'm glad we're having fun here, guys.
Well, you're having fun. We're miserable. Okay. Next, they announced Monster Hunter Stories. So from the looks of it, this is just it's a remaster of the 3DS game.
Mm-hmm. I say remaster.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, I know the sequel is on Switch already, so it's nice to get both of them on the same console. Me, on the other hand, I think, it's getting remastered for the Switch. Maybe that means they can get it cheap on the 3DS now.
There it is.
Yeah, it's true.
But, I mean... Okay, I don't know if you guys caught more. I don't know a lot about the series. I haven't paid that much attention to it. But I kind of read Pokemon meets Monster Hunter. Like, it looks like you
the vibe I
catch
get.
or collect monsters of some kind, the Monster Hunter monsters.
Monster training.
And then you battle with them. So I mean, generally speaking, I like that style of game. I've liked it in the past. Obviously, Pokemon. I liked the Dragon Warrior monsters that... Mm-hmm. Speaking of, they just did a new Dragon Warrior monster.
They did. Wasn't that just a...
And I can't find it anywhere.
Really?
It's sold out everywhere. Last I looked. I haven't looked for a couple weeks.
On Switch?
Yeah, it's a Switch exclusive.
I remember that. From the last Direct.
Okay. Yeah, and because I had a moment where I was like, man, I should get that. And then I looked for it, like Target, Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy. It was sold out everywhere. I don't know if that's still the case, but I do kind of want to play it because I used to love Dragon Warrior Monster 1 on the Game Boy. But anyway, so Monster Hunter Stories, it's a remaster. It looks like they updated the graphics to hit more of an HD vibe. Fully voice-overed. They added like an artwork and like storyboards type thing you can look through, which it's a neat bonus feature. I like when they throw that kind of stuff in. Some people care, some people don't. But
I love the art style of Monster Hunter Stories, and there's a sequel, right? Isn't there a Monster Hunter Stories too?
On Switch, yeah.
And I was going to say there's a number of amiibos that are based off Monster Hunter Stories, which are very cool. So like
maybe they'll work with this.
Yeah,
they'll add amiibo support. They might already had amiibo support. Actually,
that makes a lot of sense.
Now you have to get it because you have to have every game that has amiibo support.
I could definitely maximize the usage of my amiibos by getting this game.
Once you finish your amiibo collection, you have to have every game with amiibo support across every console.
Simultaneously making all my Monster Hunter friends proud of me at the same time.
They're only kind of proud.
Yeah.
Just kind of. This
is not Monster Hunter. It's Monster Hunter Story.
Monster Hunter is an RTS, right? Yes?
It's just like Pikmin.
Okay.
James knows video games. This guy.
Monster Hunter equals RTS. Good to know. Thank you very much.
He's got it. He's got it down, everybody.
Spread the news, everyone.
Preach the word. Oh, man.
The good news of Jimi.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's something I would pick up, but I do think that if it drops the price of the 3DS version, I'll probably buy it. So, quite honestly. So, I don't know. I do know that I have a couple of friends that I know at least bought the second one and liked it. I don't know if they played the first one or not, but... Monster Hunter itself isn't exactly my vibe, but I don't mind. Like, I think the monsters are really cool. So, and like James said, this art style was really neat. So,
And the fact that they're like, it's weird that we're already, maybe I'm crazy here, but the fact that we're already getting remasters of 3DS games, like, it gives me hope for like other things like, I don't know, Layton versus Phoenix Wright. It gives me hope for Kid Icarus, which I really want on Switch. I don't know how they do it, but I want it really bad. Just some stuff like that.
you never know. I would love to see. I don't want anything to ever get to the point where it's inaccessible.
Yeah.
I wonder with Layton versus Phoenix Wright how easy it would be because of the two companies. It's two different companies, right? Capcom and Level 5.
That is true.
You never know. Like, they could work together again to make it happen. I'd love to see more ports, though. Like, I like to have a reason to own my 3DS, but at the same time, like, I want these games to be accessible. And me personally, certain games, I'll just continue to play on the old console. Like you with Mario RPG. It doesn't, just because they released it doesn't mean I won't keep and play the old version over the new one. Sometimes these new remakes, remasters, ports aren't even as good as the old version.
Yeah.
So
I think games like this are just a testament to like how, I don't know, like how comprehensive of a console Switch is. Like, there are so many things where you're like, Switch has literally every game from this franchise, and this, you know, this isn't the case with Monster Hunter, but like a lot of Monster Hunter games are now on Switch. I mean, they had the sequels to like, we'll bring the first one, you know. I don't know. Trying to think. Xenoblade is kind of that way, other than Xenoblade X. Like, almost all the games are on Switch. Like, we're going to talk about another game that got announced in this Direct where like almost a lot of that franchise is now on the Switch. Anyways, yeah.
Yep. Well, let's move into the next game where they announced a remake. I think it's a remake of Epic Mickey. Epic Mickey Rebrushed. I thought this was kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember before Epic Mickey came out, there was a ton of hype for that game.
I remember that too. That was for Wii U, right?
And they even had like a nunchuck that was shaped like the paintbrush.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And like they did a lot. Maybe it was I think it was a nunchuck, but that game had a ton of hype for it, and then it just died.
Yeah.
Like, I think the game ended up being kind of meh.
I think it was, heard it was like janky.
Yeah.
Like controls and all that.
But they didn't really show any gameplay. But like, if they fixed those issues, because that's what I remember hearing too, is the control. It didn't control very smoothly. If they fixed that, I think it was a pretty solid platformer otherwise. And it looks nice. Like, as far as the remake goes, like graphically, the cutscenes they shown, at least I assume that was in-game footage, looked good. So I don't know. This is loosely on my radar. I don't ever see this being a day one purchase.
I remember the hype back in the day, and then I do remember just dying. I didn't get the game, but I just remember it was so big, and just all of a sudden it was nothing. And then reading about it's like, oh, it's like the controls and whatnot. So now seeing this, like if they fix that, I wonder if it would then get popular.
Yeah, and there's no denying that Disney is just as popular, if not more now, than it was in 2007-8 when this game came out originally. It came out a little later than that, but whenever it came out. So it has a place, and lots of kids have Switches. So not that only kids would want to play this, but you know what I mean.
I would buy Magical Quest on SNES before I bought this game. Rebuy it. and we just, me and Hannah just got what's that new Mickey game?
Illusion Island.
We got Illusion Island recently, so we'll play that together. And so like we already got a Mickey game to play at the moment, and that actually got reviewed pretty well. So
Good for them.
All right, so James is not getting Epic Mickey Rebrushed.
Pass.
Hard pass, bro.
But I love me some Mickey. I always will.
Hey, Mickey.
So fine.
You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
I'm sorry, everybody.
I'm sorry. I gave him Manhattan earlier. I'm sorry.
I think you made it. Just keep going.
All right, so next they showed off Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, which at first, because Shin Megami Tensei 5 is already out.
Yes.
So I thought this was just like
I was
DLC.
very confused by this trailer and what it was.
Yeah, so I've never played the Shin Megami games. I've played spin-offs before. I've played some of the Personas and stuff, but I've never played the main series. They're a little too creepy for me as far as like what's going on. But as I was watching this, like I know I don't have a lot of knowledge on this series, but as I was watching it, I was like, "What is this?" Like I know 5's out, so but it did. No point did they say this is DLC. This is
they never
this is
said
an
that.
expansion. This
Yep.
is. So I had to look it up because I was like, "What is it?" I think what I took away from the articles I read and the website, which still none of them were super clear, but I think it is a re-release of the game with basically a whole new like storyline.
Yeah, like a different end game is what I heard.
So it's like I think it is kind of like an expansion. So basically they took the game and doubled it.
Okay.
So you can now choose I wrote it down here. So there's 2 scenarios. My guess is there weren't 2 scenarios in the original game. There was just one. So now you can choose either one of the 2 scenarios, and the canon of creation was the story told in the original game. And now the canon of vengeance will diverge drastically during the middle and later portions of the game, providing a completely different ending. So like you said, a different ending. So I take away from this is you do not have to play both. If you don't want to, you can choose one or the other.
Yeah.
Because they're similar till about halfway. But then they get drastically different. So apparently they're about 80 hours each. And if you wanted to play both of them, you're looking at about 160 hours.
Yep. So this is, I heard it compared to not that I've played the games, but it was compared kind of sort of to like Persona 5 Royal, like similar, how it's like a more definitive version of the original game or something like that.
So I haven't played Persona 5 Royal, but my thought with Royal was that it was the same game with some added content along the way, plus a new character and like one new dungeon. So I think the overall ending is the same.
Okay.
Plenty of people, I could be wrong, and you can let me know because I haven't played it.
Yeah, but this diverges, is what you're saying.
This sounds like it's you choose one of 2 different storylines that get very different.
Which honestly is cooler.
It's a cool concept.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I think Persona 5 Royal to me sounded like the definitive version.
Yeah.
That's what I read it as. Like I said, I haven't played it, but it read as the definitive version with like bonus content, new character, extra dungeon. But I once again I read it as it's the same game at the end. Like there's just some extra stuff here and there.
Yeah. And for clarity, for the layman, Shin Megami Tensei is a spin-off of Persona or the other way around?
Other way around. So Shin Megami Tensei was the base series, and then Persona was a spin-off.
Persona was a spin-off, but it's kind of become king in a way in terms
of... It's definitely more popular. I would think. Maybe in Japan it's not. I don't know. But Persona's got a lot more clout in the States, at least. But that's only been since... I don't know that Persona was even that big before 5.
Yeah.
People played 4 and 3. Like, I remember hearing people... but... I was still really big in the RPG community, which was very niche for a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't see random people coming in to play Persona because they heard that it was good. Persona 5 changed that. Like, I know a lot of people who wouldn't necessarily call themselves huge RPG gamers that played Persona 5. Persona 5 really blew the series up in the States, or in the area at least. Yeah, but Shin Megami Tensei, I believe, was the series that started it all, and they've done a ton of branch-offs from that series. From the mainline series.
Interesting.
But not. I definitely would not consider myself a aficionado of the Shin Megami Tensei franchise. So if I'm wrong and you want to correct me, please feel free. I'm admitting I could be wrong. And if I'm right, I'd actually also like to hear that. So you can feel free to give me any positive feedback you have too. All right, so after that, they showed off one that I think a lot of people are excited for.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Myself included, and that was the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection.
Let's go!
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is a collection, I believe, of remasters. They definitely aren't remakes. They look like ports with updated visuals.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Because the original 2 games, Battlefront 1 and 2, they came out on PS2 and Xbox. And that's what these are, right? The first 2 Battlefront games?
Correct. So it looks like it includes the 64-player online battles, which is super cool. Like, I never played the game online back in the day because I didn't have, I played it on PS2 and I didn't have access to playing it online. But the game was a lot of fun. Like, I remember you could just have a second player and you guys could do whatever, like, because it's unique in the gameplay because it's not just your standard Battlefront 1 and 2, the new ones may have copied it somewhat, but it felt very different back then. Like, it felt better. It's a third-person shooter, and you have bases that you work out of, and you have to try to take over the bases, and the more time you have with more bases, the more your rating goes up, and then eventually they stop having abilities to respawn and die off.
Shooters were relatively young when the Battlefront series first came out in this era, and by the time Disney inherited the property and they started making the Battlefront games, the modern ones, which honestly they're pretty good. They are pretty good, but they were being compared to the best first-person shooters at the time, which they've come a long way. And you can switch back and forth in the modern Battlefronts, first-person and third-person. You can pick or choose, but these original games even are really fun, and I had a blast. I remember on PS2. So
I think most people like them more still. At least the people who have played them have fond memories of them. And it's cool too. They're not just direct polished up ports because, like I said, they have the online play with up to 64 players. They've added new characters.
Yeah.
They showed Kit Fisto in the trailer.
Nice.
But doing a little digging, it looks like Asajj Ventress is also
I've read that too.
Oh, really?
playable. What I couldn't verify is I read that on a PlayStation fan site, and I couldn't verify if that was across all consoles or just PlayStation. And then I saw, and there was also new maps. They showed Jabba's Palace. I don't remember if they showed any more than that, but
Yeah, Jabba's Palace. That's a pretty big
classic.
draw too.
yeah.
But never forget Kit Fisto's smile as he pushes the battle droids over in the prequels.
Little
He's always
sadistic.
got that grin on.
Yeah, that's smart.
And then never forget how he goes down like a chump. To
Well, yeah.
Does Palpatine's get him?
Palpatine?
Yeah.
What? What did you ask?
I'm saying, like, was that the Mace Windu Anakin scene? He's in that scene.
Oh yeah, Keith,
Yeah, when they
he
go
did
to arrest him.
Mhm.
Yeah, Eth Koth, Aegon Kohler, and Kit Fisto are the three Jedi there.
It's painful, dude.
Yeah, Kit Fisto maybe puts up the best fight, which is he lasts longer than one
Yep.
swing. Fun fact: did you guys ever read the Revenge of the Sith novelization?
No.
Oh wow.
So something they don't really portray well in the movie is so right at the beginning of that scene,
Yeah.
when Palpatine then goes, then it's treason, and then and the lightsaber pops out of his sleeve.
Yeah.
Right at that scene, there's this howling noise in the which at the time you're not sure what it is. It just seems like
It was just a
effect.
sound.
Oh, you
It was
hear
just
this
a
in the
sound.
movie?
In the
Yeah, in the
movie,
movie.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
you
much
hear
so
it.
there in the movie.
Okay.
It is there.
In the book, the novelization, that is apparently a Sith sound that he used specifically to, like throw them off,
Like disarm them,
and
kinda,
and that's why the book explains it that. From their perspective, that it was so disarming that's why they put up no fight at the beginning, because they were like in the state of like shock or like whatever, like because that perspective is from Mace Windu's in the book, I believe. It's been a while, but yeah, I literally, so we used to have the Star Wars store in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
I was standing there and I was fingering through the book, and I got to that scene and I was reading that. I bought the book at that point because I was like, now I want to see what else has changed. But yeah, I thought that was really neat, like.
That's very interesting. I didn't know. Now when I go back and watch it again.
Because that sound is there. It is
It's
very
there.
much so in the
It is.
movie. But in the book, it's actually given explanation. And it helps the scene make a little more sense.
Yeah.
Because when you're just watching the scene, you're like, wow, they
They just stood there.
suck. They just went down like a bunch of wusses.
They went down like a youngling.
Yeah. Oh, Anakin.
Dark side is a path to unnatural things.
Like a really creepy scream.
Like
Yeah.
a really creepy scream. Well, you can do better than Kit Fisto did in this game in the collection.
Kit Fisto.
As Kit Fisto.
So, yeah. No, this is pretty exciting. I was talking to Jarret about it, and like, this is a game that I want to own on Switch, but just for the simple fact that I think it'll be hard to get people to play online on Switch as easily, I'll probably buy it on PlayStation.
Yeah, this is one of those where like you do wonder, I want it on Switch, but is it going to be best on Switch?
I don't know. I mean,
probably
I hope
not.
it's not that intensive, because it does not look like.
Yeah.
It looks like a PS2 game that they polished up. So,
yeah.
but
That's gonna be a tough call, I feel like, but I'm just glad that it exists. It'll be a lot of fun.
yeah, overall, I'm excited because
Yeah,
just
just the
bringing
idea of
these
it.
things to the modern age with features intact, like online, to me is a good thing. Like I don't care. They don't have to fully remake it. Just give it to us. Make it accessible.
I'm excited.
I did play on the PC those games, and I can't remember which user was it who hates mods, but I did play the mods. It was always fun because he had a Republic Commandos do it.
See, that is
Nice.
cool.
Yeah,
It was probably me, but I'm not sure.
He doesn't even know.
remember.
He's so plastered right
I'm
now.
so
He
so
doesn't even know if he
plastic.
hates mods.
so far gone right
That's
now. Mods are lame. So are RTS games.
For anybody wondering, I'm sitting right next to him and he's fine.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm
He's just rolling into it now,
yeah, it's fine.
leaning into it. is
We'll
what I
let you know if he
meant to say.
takes his pants off, or then he'll be a little concerned.
And we're all concerned.
Yep.
Okay, so these next couple, I personally don't have too much to say about them.
Yeah.
If you guys have anything else, feel
Nope.
free, but I'm just going to kind of roll through them. So, South Park Snow Day, which
Nope.
looks like it's a third-person shooty type of action game. Like,
Shooty thingy.
like, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I'm not a South Park guy, so, like, just by nature, I don't have much interest in it. But I did think it looked good. If you know what I mean.
Looked
like,
polished.
looking at it, I'm like, I'm surprised it's going to be on the Switch at launch. It looks like it ran pretty well. It looks like it could be fun if you like the IP. It looked like it had a good multiplayer aspect to it.
Yep.
But it's never. I just don't ever see myself ever playing this. So it was hard for me to spend too much time looking into it.
Yep.
Then Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream looks exactly like the kind of game I would like if I'd ever watched the anime, which I haven't. So,
Yeah.
But it looks like it's a JRPG with some really decent team building and like a 20-player online mode, which is pretty cool for an RPG type of game. Looks like I almost got a little bit of a Monster Hunter-y vibe, where it looked like they were all playing online fighting one monster. So maybe like an MMO, which I know Sword Art Online is kind of based off the concept of an MMO. Once again, I haven't watched it, but. And then, lastly, of these three, Gundam Breaker 4, which looks like it's you build and battle with your own Gundams. I don't know. Looks like it would be fun. Lots of customization. Like if you like Gundams.
If you're into Gundams.
Still thinking player 1, Gundam.
I will say this. I saw after the Direct, I think Wario64 on X, Twitter, whatever. I saw he posted the collector's edition went up, so I clicked on it because I just wanted to see. I can't tell if it comes with a model Gundam. I couldn't tell if it was a DLC or it wasn't very clear. It looked like a model, but it may have just been like a skin. But that steelbook, if you haven't looked up that steelbook, it is beautiful. Like I don't know, maybe it's just the colors really speak to me, but like I should have brought up a picture of it because I was like, why does this look so good? Like I don't have any desire to get the game, but now I'm like I kind of want this collector's edition because I want that steelbook.
Yeah.
Get that.
There's been 4 iterations apparently, so apparently it hits with a certain demographic for sure.
Yeah, I truly have no idea if this is a series that's been around here for a while or if it's been only in Japan.
Yeah, it does seem like it's something that would be like entrenched in Japan, but I don't know.
I'm bringing up the picture of this steelbook, which I'll try to post. I granted everybody can just look it up if they actually want to see it, but no,
we have to do it officially though.
Load slower, phone.
So yeah, Gundams are cool, and the word Gundam rhymes with fundum.
Doesn't matter.
Okay,
it is loading
right.
so slow.
Here he goes.
I need to stop James from continuing before I lose any listeners I still have. Anyway, it's a cool steelbook. Look it up.
Yeah.
All right. So after this, they announced Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, and I thought this looked pretty good.
Me too, actually.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the first brand new Monkey Ball since 3DS.
I think it's been a long time.
Pretty surprising.
They've done ports or remakes of some of the old ones or other ones, but I think this is the brand. Is that right? You looked it up too?
Yeah, it's from everything I could tell, it's the first original Monkey Ball in a while. That's all I got for you. But yeah, like I think anyone who grew up playing games on GameCube and GameCube, because I think those came first to GameCube. Like
it did, yeah.
So we have a bit of nostalgia goggles, but like man, I remember the series very fondly. Those games were really fun. They looked they were crisp and they popped at the time, like visually.
Monkey Target, baby.
Yeah, it was they were fun. But like, so what I gathered in my just really brief research on the most recent remakes and remasters is that it's got some criticism for like I guess people have complained about the new physics of the game and like just that they seemed more low effort. Lower budget's the right phrase, but. Like you said, I'm pretty hopeful. Like the fact that it's an original game this time around, and that it's exclusive to Switch, which is interesting because the last ones were on Xbox and PlayStation too. This is just Switch.
Yeah,
I imagine that may change down the line, but yeah, four-player local co-op. So I'm down.
Yeah, over 200 brand new stages and 16-player online mode.
Yeah.
So
Hannah's excited too for some reason. So.
For some reason,
we're always down for like new party games. So like this could be that.
Yeah.
You know,
it definitely looks like a good party game. That Robot Smash mode that they showed off, that looks fun. Where you work together, that seems new to me for Monkey Ball. Like you're actually working together to beat the robot on the map.
Yeah,
I was like, that's kind of cool because Monkey Ball is usually competitive.
Yep, June 25th, 2025. I definitely got my eye on this for sure.
Oh, he's got his eye on it. What was that?
I've got my eye on you.
Monkey Ball 2, not 2.
Was he actually saying that, or did I hit the button?
We don't know.
You'll never know.
Ask us later. Don't ask us.
He won't remember this.
It's all the blur.
Okay. Yeah, I agree though. Monkey Ball, it's on my list of things I'm looking out for because I just think it looks really good.
For sure.
I liked the trailer for it. It looked fresh. Mm-hmm. So next they showed World of Goo 2, which I personally never played World of Goo 1. I know it was really big in the early mobile scene, like especially for like I remember you'd see kids playing it with iPads a lot of times. Like,
Yeah.
it was really big in the early scene.
It was the OG for the mobile stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks good. I'm not super into this level of like physics creativity where you build bridges and you use your brain to actually do something. That's not for me.
The whole brain thing gets in the way.
I never played the old one. I don't know what to think of this. I appreciate the look of it. Like, it definitely looks like you can really get creative with it. And 4-player co-op is cool. Like, why not play it with a friend? Anytime you can add co-op to a game and it works, why not?
And it's console exclusive to the Switch, apparently. It's not going to be on PlayStation or Xbox, but it will be on PC and mobile probably too. But
yeah, sure. How could it not be on iPad?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure lots of people are excited for that. I'd like to hear more from people who have played this, because I'm sure some of our listeners have played World of Goo. I'd just like to know more about it. What you like about it, if I should give it a go.
Yeah.
Next, I wrote nothing about this game on purpose because I figured James would have something to say.
Oh, please tell us.
I got stuff to say.
That's Fantasy Life The Girl Who Steals Time.
The Girl Who Steals Time. It's now a mouthful. It used to be just Fantasy Life. Maybe we'll see if that makes an impact on this game. But we're stoked, dude. Me and Hannah are like, let's go. I'm sure Jordan will feel the same. We got a release date, which is a big deal. October 10th, 2024. So, I mean, debatably, sometime close to or right before the time we're expected to get a Switch 2. Like, this is good. Again, it could finish off the console. So, did I call it? Well, they already told us it was coming, but now we got a release date. Interesting details, though, on this game that really kind of differentiate it from the first one. It says, an island in the seas of Riveria is deserted. Travel to the island's past to gather resources and use them to restore the island in the present. So that's very, like, the loop that it's being described there is different from the original Fantasy Life. But, like, the gameplay seems pretty similar. You pick different occupations or roles or lives, right? Like, you can be a miner, a magician, a carpenter,
I want
like
to be an adult.
Fisherman, warrior. I don't know if warrior is one of them, but like there's more like cozy themed lives versus more like battle themed lives. There's like a little bit of like a dungeon crawling aspect to this game, which can be really fun, especially in groups. And yeah, apparently we're going to discover what the truth is behind this island and its past, and like why we're restoring it, which is going to be. So it sounds like it's going to have more of a, I don't know, like a narrative than the first one did. Not that it was like completely absent in the last one, but this was a really fun game, dude, on the 3DS, and like it just looks like it's been cleaned up, and I don't need it to be like something super, I don't know, super next gen or anything like that. It looks like Fantasy Life when I saw it, and I'm just like, I know I'm gonna like this game because I love the first one. So,
all right.
But yeah, up to 4 can journey together online. So if anybody wants to join us, we'll be online.
I know, I'm excited for it because I somehow managed to miss the Fantasy Life. Like when you guys were playing it, I never bought it. I never played it with you guys. I don't know why, but it's exactly my type of game. Like it's a little bit of Harvest Moon, a little bit of RPG. Like it's got multiple genres in it that I'm a fan of.
Yeah,
so,
it's a catch-em-all, and you'd think normally, like, if you try to do everything in a game, Pokemon. You try to catch them all in a video game that's not Pokemon. Generally, you're bad at everything, right? And you're good at nothing. Like somehow this game worked. Like it was fun switching back and forth between jobs or lives and just doing different things and leveling up in this or leveling up in fishing or leveling up in mining and fighting. And it was just really fun to cooperate with friends doing this, or not. You can do it solo, and it was fun too. Like it was just a really charming game, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No,
I hope this is the same.
It looks
if it's
like
not,
it.
I'm going to be sad.
It looked charming. Like I definitely am all in. Like I plan on getting it. I want to experience the multiplayer while people are still playing it too. I hope it's something that maybe Jasmine will get into too. It's kind of got some vibes of games that she likes.
Yeah. It seems like it has a little something for everyone. So
I agree. So yeah, it comes out October 10th this year. So it is one of the few games that they talked about on this Direct that is not in the first half, because they did specify that these were games that were releasing in the first half of the year.
Yeah.
And I noticed this one they talked about, but it is not releasing.
Which, on that note, it makes me think that the other games that were teased or announced by Level 5, they might not be coming this year. Like, we might not get, Inuyasha, the soccer game, Layton. I wouldn't think we're getting Layton if we haven't heard about it yet. I could be wrong. What's the other one? There's some other games
Deca
too.
Police?
Deca Police, which seemed like it seems like I don't know, looks not in quotes, their A team is probably working on the Decapolice. It's because it's a new IP and stuff, but all games that honestly kind of interest me or look really cool. So I don't know. We only got word and a release date on one of them, and I'm glad it's the one I was most interested in. But
Yes.
yeah, that'll be cool.
I'm excited. Next, they showed a game called Another Crab's Treasure. Man, this game... So they explained it in the trailer as a Souls-like game.
Yeah.
And you play as a little crab, and you use different objects that you find to double as your shell, which give you different bonuses. And I could not tell from the trailer that this was a Souls-like game. I could not tell much of what this game was from the trailer, actually. It comes out really soon. It comes out in April. And if I'm being honest, I thought it looked a little janky in the trailer. Like, as I was watching, I was like, this looks cute. This looks like it could be fun. Like, it's probably a ways away, though, because it felt like the trailer was a little... When I use the word janky, I mean, like, it looked splotchy. Like, something didn't look completely right. So I was a little surprised to find out it was coming out that soon. But it's super interesting to me that they used the term Souls-like, because that means they plan on this game being difficult.
Yeah.
Like, they're
think so.
building it to be difficult.
Yeah.
So I don't have much else to say about it, but I thought it looked interesting, that's for sure.
It was, there's like a cuteness to it. I don't know. I might play it.
It's possible.
Is it RTS?
It's
wait,
this
is
is
it?
hard RTS. Maybe I got to pivot away from this game.
Too much RTS.
Too much RTS.
So much.
Yeah.
The next was Penny's Big Breakaway. So this was one that we saw mentioned in the Discord. This had already been announced. I know Ben Livid in the Discord was really excited for it.
Ding, ding, ding. You called
ding,
it,
ding.
man.
Yeah,
a
I
couple
did.
others have been called, and I guess we haven't done a good
That
job
is true.
of shouting that out. But this game, so it's made by the team that did Sonic Mania. And anybody who played Sonic Mania knew that team understood what it took to make a good Sonic game.
Yep.
And they made a good Sonic game, and then the fact that Sega even brought them in, because they originally made a free, what do they call those? Like the Metroid M2 game. Like it's a homebrew game. They made their own Sonic game basically, and put it out online, and I guess homebrew. And instead of Sega putting a cease and desist or whatever, they literally hired them to make a Sonic game.
Yeah.
That's smart.
So which was big. I mean, I was impressed that they even did that. And then they made Sonic Mania, and Sonic Mania is fantastic.
It is.
So I don't know why Sega didn't continue to use them, because I'm sorry for the people that liked it, but Sonic... What was this last stupid Sonic game called? Sonic Superstars? The game could have used the Sonic Mania team.
Yeah.
They did.
Was it not great?
Have you not listened to the podcast?
I mean, like, I hear Sonic, and generally I'm kind of like, what is that, an RTS? And I just kind of...
Yeah, just shut off. I did not like Sonic Superstars. I liked parts of it, but overall I did not like it.
Okay.
But yeah, Penny's Big Breakaway is made by that Sonic team, or Sonic Mania team. It's a 3D platformer. It ended up coming out after the Direct, so it's out now. It looks really clean, like really pretty, like very vibrant. That's what
Got
I'm
those
looking for.
90 vibes.
It has that 90s 3D platformer vibe. They found a good marriage of it looking like a 90s like 3D platformer collectathon type, but looking good and polished. Like, it's this really nice middle ground. It's definitely on my list of games I want to play. Only reason I haven't bought it is because anybody who knows me knows that I really hope they release a physical version, and I'd rather wait till it either goes on sale digitally or buy it physically at full price. So,
It looks pretty fun.
but yeah, it's right up my alley. I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
It's got personality. I like that.
Yep, lots of it. The next game was Suika Game Multiplayer Mode Expansion Pack. So apparently the Suika game is already out. And now, also the multiplayer expansion pack is out because it came out after the Direct. It's a puzzle game. Never heard of this before. I knew nothing about it. It looks like there's fruit, and then you drop fruit down below.
Yeah.
Kinda-
Suika means watermelon, so there you go.
Watermelon
Well,
game.
there you have it. It's a watermelon game. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. You drop fruits, and then if you drop a fruit and it touches the same kind of fruit, it looks like they disappear. They combine and blow up. That's what I gathered from the trailer. There is a demo out. I think they said there was a demo out. I didn't play it, but
I downloaded this to earn 100 platinum points. That's what I remember. I downloaded it, opened it, and then closed it, and then
Get those points.
and then deleted it.
you could have
I'm
played it
sorry.
and given us more to talk about.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but I
don't
got
know.
my platinum points, so that's
Well, that's
cool.
good. We're also happy for you.
Thank you.
But yeah, it looks like they added an online multiplayer mode for this, and if you like it, cool. You have something to do. I just don't know anything about it, and I don't know if it looks like the kind of puzzle game I would pay much for.
It feels more like a mobile game than like a full-blown video game, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Per the norm, though, if you played it and you have anything you'd like to say about it, let us know on the Discord or on the Instagram, because I would like to know. I am always a fan of knowing, like, if something doesn't look appealing to me, I want to know why somebody does like it, because I am easy to convince that I should try something.
Mm-hmm.
And I like puzzle games, so I could just be missing something from what I watched.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next they showed off Pepper Grinder, which is a 2D action platformer. They dropped a demo after the Direct, and I don't know if either of you guys did, but I did download and play the demo.
Oh, you did? I
Yeah.
haven't. But I kind of dig what I saw, all pun intended.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and immediately was like, this looks exactly like my kind of game, because it's a platformer where you have a drill that I assume they call Grinder or Pepper Grinder. I don't know what they didn't give you much story in the demo, but you have a drill, and then it's, if anybody's played Sonic Colors, and I think even one of the other Sonic games too, but you have the wisps that you can use to give you power-ups.
Mm-hmm.
One of the power-ups is the drill wisp, and it allows you to drill in, and you it changes the physics of the game a little bit, where you kind of move in wide angles and stuff.
Okay.
And it reminded me of, so this game, Pepper Grinder, reminded me of that, but way better, and that being the focus of the game. Because obviously that's just, you use it sometime on specific levels in Sonic Colors. On this game, every level has these dirt areas where you use it to dig into, and you use the trajectory to come out at the right angle to get yourself to different areas, to kill enemies, whatever. And there's hidden areas and stuff. Like, the demo was probably 3 levels, and I loved it. Like, I played the 3 levels in one sitting just before I left to come to Jarret's house, and I could have kept playing. I had every intention to keep playing until it said that was the end of the demo. So I was like, oh yeah, I don't actually own this.
So you're in.
This is a game that if it comes out digital only, I will most likely buy. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
But that's the thing. That's what demos are good for. It helps you decide what you want to do. And I thoroughly enjoyed the demo. I think it played extremely well.
Do we know who the developer is, or is it a recognizable?
Devolver.
Okay, all right. So that's a name.
Oh, that is a name.
That is a name. that is
a
a
good
fact right there.
Oh man, James out here preaching the word.
That's right. Ooh.
But yeah, anyway, if you have any interest in it from the video, the trailer, there it is. Play the demo, because I think it's definitely worth trying. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Out of everything announced, this is probably the game that I will. No, I'm probably gonna buy Fantasy Life too. So, but it's the one I didn't know about before today that I'm definitely buying.
Grinding time.
For sure. All right. Next was. Just realized you said grinding time.
Grinding
All right. That was creepy. Next, they showed off Pocket Card Jockey Ride On.
Let's go.
So anybody who isn't familiar, this was a 3DS game that got zero to no attention when it came out, because it came out. I don't know if it came out late. I don't even remember when it came out, but there was no fanfare for this game.
There wasn't.
But it has become a cult classic. It is developed by Game Freak, the
They
masters,
made a little game called
the Pokemon Masters. It is no joke. Solitaire meets horse racing, which sounds crazy and stupid, and it is crazy and stupid, but it's amazing. So I did download this like right before the eShop on the 3DS went away, like the beginning of this year-ish. Was that this year? Or last year? 2023, yeah. It's not 2023 anymore. But yeah, I downloaded it last year, and I realized what I'd been missing this whole time, and I was talked into re-downloading it last night. Thank you, Joel. I'm glad you told me to do it, because I did, and I don't regret it at all. And plus, I had like 1,200 gold points, so I really wanted to pay like $2 for it. So it was pretty.
So it was
cool.
cheap.
I mean, $15 still for how fun this game is like a small price to pay. So yeah, so the idea is that like each horse race is split into a series of sections, and like during each section of the race, you play a quick game of solitaire, specifically for those that are educated in different solitaire games. I guess it's called the golf variation, otherwise known to some as tri-peaks. I am not a solitaire guy. I don't like card games that's not Pokemon. I don't play solitaire. I mean, like I play poker when we for fantasy football purposes to get a high draft pick. Yeah, card games, like traditional card games, are not my thing. But this game is my thing. It's so fun. It's so stupid, but it's amazing.
Yeah, it's wacky too.
It's weird.
The commentary in this game is super weird. Mm-hmm. What do they call him? Your trainer guy, because you're a jockey. The guy who comes, the things, because I played it on 3DS too. The things that guy comes in and says, he's super weird.
Yeah, he is, dude.
It's wacky, but yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. It's essentially a remaster. So the original was just called Pocket Card Jockey. This is Pocket Card Jockey Right On. This was also released on the Apple Store. But here it is now too, and it looks really good compared to the 3DS version, as you'd expect, as it's kind of like a cleaned up version of it. And there's a couple, I don't know how much extra features there are, but yeah, the whole idea is you build up your horses, you level them up, you try to win as many races as you can, and generally speaking, you're gonna lose a lot. Let me just make that very clear here. If you can't handle losing, don't play this game, because you're gonna lose games, especially early.
This is the Souls-like of the horse racing solitaire-based
horse racing games. And what's funny is you kind of learn the very simple fundamentals of horse racing too. This is how real horse racing works, right? If your horse doesn't have pedigree, it's not going to win horse races, generally speaking. They have to be good. And so you lose, right? And you do as best you can. You level it up. Your horse is retired and he gets older, and then you breed this horse with other horses that are retired to get better, more talented horses that have some of the traits that it's learned. And it's
got the right IVs or the
exactly, Jarret. Okay. It is exactly. I mean, do you not hear the Pokemon? That's the very clear Pokemon inspiration that's in this game. You're breeding horses to make them better, and those better horses can win the really hard races.
Starting to get creeped out at how much the Pokemon or Game Freak likes breeding.
Yeah, they love breeding, man.
Can they release a game without breeding for a change?
Nope.
Nope. Again, a card game without breeding.
Harmonites, maybe. I don't know.
I guess there wasn't a lot of breeding in that. Not enough breeding.
Maybe there was some breeding to the songs, but I'm done.
I'm going to have to put an explicit warning on this episode now.
And there it goes.
And hopefully we get Harmonites too, honestly, on Switch. That'd be kind of cool.
But it would be. Or
this
just
game
a
is
port of the first one.
stupid addicting, and it's a lot of fun, and I can't recommend it enough, frankly.
And they added a multiplayer, right? Online multiplayer?
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. That's always a nice feature. They can destroy you online. See you at the races.
You probably will, dude. I'm bad at this game, but I'd
have to relearn it.
That I will say that's the one thing about this game. Like I said, again, you're gonna lose a lot early, especially because your horses aren't that good. But also, the learning curve is there's a little bit of a learning curve to this game. It's not just learning this variation of solitaire. It's the strategy of where to position your horse and how the different phases of the race play out, and are you close to the inside of the track or the outside of the track, and there's card power-ups and stuff, and there is all this stuff going on, and there's all this stuff going on in real time that you have to show. It's an RTS basically, is what I'm saying. But it's better than Pikmin.
We figured out what kind of game it is. It's not a Souls-like, it's RTS.
It's RTS, guys. This is the best RTS game you'll ever play. I'm just saying. That's not Pikmin.
Everything's an RTS. Yeah,
life is RTS.
I'm so sorry, Hannah.
So sorry, listeners. You gotta listen to this guy.
Sorry, all 5 people listening.
You gotta rename this episode. What is RTS?
Just confuse everybody. People will start listening to the episode. What are they? This has nothing to do with RTS. Oh, it does.
The game is great. It's great.
Yeah, so definitely check it out. If you have never paid much attention to it before, it's worth looking into. It is very niche. There's no other game like it, really, and it's fun. It's definitely fun. Like James said, it has a learning curve, but it's a cool game.
It's really cool. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, there's 3 short race tutorials at the beginning, and you kind of get the general gist, and you can go back and learn some of the basics. They have a training whatever section. So it's great.
Yep. So I was happy to see that there. I knew that. Am I correct that they had already announced that it was going to be coming to Switch, and then it just got shadow dropped yesterday, or was it that I heard that it was coming to phones?
It was one of those Pyoro leaks, right? Because
Yeah.
he did the like. I can't remember who put it on the Discord, but he said something like, "Is Game Freak a partner or something like that?" And then they like said, "Yes, Game Freak's a partner," and like everyone was like, "Oh, what Game Freak game's coming to this?
Pokemon.
It's not Pokemon."
It can't be Pokemon.
Yeah, because yeah, exactly.
Excuse me. All right, so then after Pocket Card Jockey, we got the sizzle reel, like they always like to do one of. Mm-hmm. And I'll just roll through these real quick, and if you guys have something to say about it,
Just say pass or play. That's how we do it.
Snufkin, Melody of Moon Valley, pass or play.
Pass.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it looks like something Jasmine might play, so I'm gonna put it on my radar.
Okay.
Tales of Kinzara, ZAU or Zao, it's all capital, so I wasn't sure how to take that. Pass or play.
Maybe play.
Pass.
I put it on the light play because gameplay looked good, but I don't know anything about it. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, sweep the board.
Pass.
Pass.
This looks like it's a party game, or
Is it a party game?
or a rhythm game?
Oh, is it?
I've never watched Demon Slayer, but it's.
So it's based on the anime.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I guess
That makes sense.
Didn't pay that much attention, but I just
Yeah.
assumed so. Yeah, but I'd probably pass too. Never watched the anime. I don't know why I'd play it right now. Then Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition. Jarret. Is it Jimmy?
Yeah, I think probably pass, but I need to give it a little more detailed look.
Yeah, this didn't look like my kind of game. Pass. Then they showed Contra Operation Galuga with a demo that came out, which I downloaded and played very, very little of.
Play.
Hard play.
I like these kind of games.
I remember the arcades playing back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contra's a cool game, just in general.
Jarret?
Man, back in the day. I would try it.
Nice.
All right,
We're
well,
gonna play
play
this
the
all
demo.
together, man.
Yeah, the demo's 2-player.
Nice. Ooh.
And I'm not going to kid myself. It's probably a pass. I'm not saying I wouldn't play it, but this is something I'd most likely play. Like if one of you guys bought it and wanted to play it together.
Oh,
like
that's fair.
I'd be happy to play it. I just don't know that I see myself buying it. I've never played a Contra game through the end. Like I played a little bit of like the first one, but
Yeah, like I said, arcade. I remember that back in the day.
yeah.
That's about it.
And then lastly, this is the name of the game we were talking about earlier that neither of us could remember. Pentiment.
Yeah. I can't believe this game was they settled for this being in the sizzle reel. Like this game's legit, man. From everything I've heard.
I don't know anything about
You
it.
don't know anything about
nothing.
it? Oh, I took so many notes. I won't go in deep
Oh,
into it.
So did you take notes because it's a Microsoft?
Maybe on some level, yes, but generally speaking, no. I just heard this game was really good. It is one of the games, I guess, that includes now Grounded. Was there any other Xbox games that were in this presentation?
Those are only two that I caught.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I didn't miss something.
Like we didn't get Hi-Fi Rush up. That was a bummer.
That's
but
too bad.
But then they announced right afterwards that it's coming to PlayStation via a
Yeah.
limited run physical release.
yeah, like that's really cool. Like I'm happy that the PlayStation
Nice.
people are getting it, but like as a Switch owner who really wanted it on Switch, I'm like, ugh, that hurts, man.
It sounds like, from what I read, which who knows where they have this got this information, but it sounds like it just wasn't going to run well on the Switch, so they're focusing Switch 2 or whatever that's going to be called.
That's the
I could believe that.
That's the only thing that makes sense. Like I don't know any other reason you wouldn't put it on Switch. You know, like so maybe a year down the line, we ended up getting on Switch. But Pentiment, from what I understand, is a really good game. Like critical acclaim universally. Like at minimums 9s across the board from whoever reviewed it. Some people gave it perfect scores. It's a short game. Very artsy. So here's the TLDR of it. It is an artsy 16th century choose your own story murder mystery with relationship elements.
I like me some relationship elements in the game. I don't know why. Maybe it's weird, but I do like it.
Yes. It just looks really cool. It's gotten great reviews, which I put a lot of stock into. It also, like Hi-Fi Rush, is getting a limited run physical, which you can pre-order right now, which makes me pretty happy. Even though I have Game Pass and I could play it right now this second. I don't
We never
know.
claim to be smart.
Huh?
So we never claim to be smart.
Well, you may not have Game Pass like me, so maybe the physical
I don't
edition.
have Game Pass anymore.
There you go. So, yeah, limited LRG, man, coming through in the clutch. Like I'm honestly thinking of getting it myself because I don't know, the game's pretty and it looks really cool, and I've heard great things about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of just very storybook-esque.
I mean, it was interesting art style, like very unique.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't really tell much from the demo, or the trailer, and I didn't think to even look into it more because I was like, meh. But I'm glad that you looked into it more. Now it has me thinking more about it. I'll have to actually watch some gameplay footage.
From what I hear, it's a whodunit, but like really good.
I didn't gather any of that from that trailer.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
These sizzle reels sometimes read to me like these are games that only people who know what they're looking at would look for, because they don't give you enough information.
I'm a little shocked that this, again, I can't believe this ended up on the sizzle reel, let alone the last game of the sizzle reel. Like, this game has, I've heard so many good things about it. So
interesting.
Yeah, no joke. Like, I would check it out for sure. At the very least, Game Pass is free. So,
well, if you have an Xbox,
if you have that.
That's true. That is true.
Is it getting a physical? I could just look this up. But is the physical is going to be just Switch, or is it coming to Xbox and PlayStation as well?
I think it's all three. It's multi-plat. Yeah, you can get it on PlayStation. You can get it on Xbox.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know why you. I mean, like.
Hey, now I rock a Taylor suit.
Yeah, I know. Like, I got mad love and respect for your physical Xbox collecting. Like, I do it to an extent, but like when there's a choice between Xbox and Switch, like I always go Switch. Like, I just do, because I can take it anywhere. And until Xbox has a mobile console, which frankly could be just around the corner, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I struggle because trophies. I want my games on PlayStation.
No, you're in the ecosystem, so like I completely get that.
And it's not just like I want to play the game and get trophies for it.
Yeah. Well,
but there are times where I would prefer to have a game on Switch, but I want trophies, so I still go with that.
Well,
version.
and hey, there's rumors that you may get a true hybrid mobile system for PlayStation.
Me personally?
Yeah, just you.
Take your trophies on the go, homie.
Oh man,
can you imagine?
Dope. I won't even.
That's
need
like
a
Chris Paradise right there.
That's right.
Just heck yeah. You can lay me down. I'm in Paradise City.
Lay me down. Lay me down. Lay me down to sleep.
All right. Well, you got me thinking more about Pentiment. I went from being like, I don't know, whatever,
dude. It's
to
check it out.
Okay, I need to look into this.
Check it out. You gotta. Wait, you don't have your Series S anymore?
No, I sold it.
Okay, then get this on PlayStation physical or Switch, whatever. I mean, it sounds like you want the trophy, so go PlayStation. Go PlayStation.
Yeah. I sold my Series S, but mainly because it was a paperweight.
That's
I
fair.
never used it. I let Game Pass lapse, and I got just about as much for it as I paid for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just get a Series X one day, because if I'm going to have a console. Me owning a digital-only console was about the dumbest purchase I've ever made. Like, it didn't make sense.
And the fact that it was Xbox too, so it's not the PlayStation ecosystem.
I wouldn't even consider buying the PlayStation one, so why did I buy the Xbox
Yeah,
one?
Exactly, right?
I don't know. Like, look,
It's
in
surprising.
hindsight, it was like, why did I buy this?
This was short-sighted of you.
It was very much so. I wanted to play Halo Infinite, so I got a Series S so I could play Halo Infinite.
The other thing too is that Series X discounts, like they've only just begun. There's going to be bigger discounts down the line, especially when they have a mid-console generation refresh.
Maybe one day I'll win one of these really crazy giveaways they do for the random designs that they make all the time.
Gosh, every time I see those, I'm like,
I still want that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie console.
Yeah.
Or the controllers. They came when they're all fluffy and weird.
There's been some really
that's
cool
right.
ones.
The fluffies.
Yeah. The fluffies.
The fluffies.
Fluffies.
All right. So after that, we had two more announcements.
Mm-hmm.
This first one got me really excited because I saw the Rareware symbol circling around. I was like, oh, they did it. We're getting the Rare Replay, baby.
Yep.
And then they disappointed me by not releasing the Rare. Because Rare Replay, a physical Rare Replay on Switch, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. I think that would be super cool.
Oh, yeah.
But instead, which is still cool, but it wasn't what I wanted. They surprise dropped right after the Direct 5 Rareware games onto the Nintendo Switch Online. Those games were Snake Rattle and Roll and RC Pro-Am from the NES, Battletoads in Battle Maniac, and Killer Instinct from the Super Nintendo, and Blast Corps from the Nintendo 64. So, pretty cool bunch of games. Any of those games there that you guys are excited for, personally, to play?
I would probably load up Killer Instinct, because I just remember when it first came out, like, it seemed I don't know. It was like, it felt like cutting edge fighting games back in the day when like Killer Instinct first came out. It's like, this is the cool fighter. Not that Street Fighter wasn't cool. It's just like, this is new and cool, you know? Like, I don't know.
It's got killer.
It's got killer. This is a killer.
It's instinct.
And Blast Corps, like, I don't know, like, it always intrigued me, but I never played it. And frankly, I completely forgot that it's a Rareware game. Like,
It's a good game.
I don't know why
liked
I've forgotten
Blast Corps.
that.
I used to rent it from Hollywood Video. Actually, Home Video Express, I think, was the name of the place we'd go. But yeah, I used to really like Blast Corps.
I wonder if it's aged well for an N64 game. We were
I
talking
haven't
about that
played it
earlier.
in years, so I would be curious to play it.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
What about you, Jarrett? Any of those you look forward to trying?
I haven't played any of them, so I wanted Bird and Bear.
Yeah, no Burden Bear still. And neither of those are on.
I think Banjo-Kazooie is.
Is it? Well, but you haven't. Maybe. You were saying in the Discord you played Banjo-Kazooie, but you haven't played Tooie.
I just never had it. Yeah, so I would definitely play it.
I didn't either. I had Kazooie and I played the crap out of it.
Yeah,
Guess what? I had Tooie and never had Kazooie.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you finish
But
Tooie?
I played Kazooie because you guys had it.
Oh, that's
but
right.
I did. I had Tooie, and I still have it. I bought it complete in box, and I still have everything.
You played through it, Tooie?
Yeah, I love Tooie. Tooie had a really cool like first-person shooter mode.
Oh.
And I used to think, I don't know, because of course, 11, 12,
yeah.
and I really wanted first-person shooters, but my parents wouldn't let me have them, so I was like,
yeah.
I really liked that those modes.
What was better in your eyes, the first or Tooie?
I mean, I'm partial to Tooie.
It was kind of the one you grew up with more, so.
Yeah, I can't say, I don't know that it's better. I genuinely speaking don't even know what people think about, like, how they compare them. I think Kazooie has more fondness generally. But yeah, Tooie was the one I had, and it's the one I have a lot of fondness for. And music on both of them is fantastic, though.
That's fair.
Good times.
I think it's inevitable we get those on Switch at some point. So
yeah,
you'd think.
I would think so. Okay, and then the last announcement from the Direct was this one was surprising to me because I thought that the old games were published by Nintendo. But anyway, Endless Ocean Luminous.
Mm-hmm. Very quickly, I want to go back to one of the predictions. I don't know if it was even a prediction, but at the end of those messages on Discord, Ryan said, "I loved Endless Ocean as a kid. I made a custom record of the soundtrack last year." Guess what? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Winner! You get a game that probably speaks to your heart.
I hope so. The game looks cool.
It does.
I mean, it looks like it's a very chill, cozy type game. Because it doesn't look like you're doing any kind of fighting or any kind of action. It doesn't look like you're punching sharks or anything. But the premise is you're swimming under the sea.
Under the sea.
Under that sea.
Yeah,
under the sea.
You're in the endless ocean. So a couple of things I thought were cool is it sounds like it's randomly generated. So every time you play it, it's different.
Yep. Changes with each dive.
Yep. And then it's got a online multiplayer for up to 30 players to just hang out and explore your randomly generated ocean.
Yeah.
So that seems pretty cool to me. I would like to get an X Button Gaming. Somebody mentioned this in the Discord. Like, let's get an X Button Gaming 30-man Endless Ocean going. Yeah. And that would be kind of funny. We should be the first crew to do that.
Dude,
let's post it to the interwebs.
We could go viral, man. Endless Ocean X Button Gang.
Let's go.
You know what's funny is like have you guys all gone like snorkeling before?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's scuba diving even?
Never done scuba.
No.
I mean, either. It's kind of scary. But anyways, like this seems like a nightmare to me, like in real life, where like you drop off like 5 people in the same spot of ocean. You're all just like with your snorkels on, and I'm like trying to kick as fast as I can to get away from people. But in a video game, this sounds really cool.
Let's emote together.
Yeah. In real life, I'd be like, do I have an oxygen tank I can hit you with? Because I'm knocking you out.
Why are you dabbing?
No, but this game, honestly, like, it seems pretty cool. And apparently it hit really hard for people back in the Wii era.
Yeah, it looks super chill. I remember these games coming out on the Wii. And like I said, I didn't look this up and I should have. I was pretty sure, though, that they were published by Nintendo on the Wii. So I'm curious as to who's publishing this. Or if Nintendo just shadow dropped their own game on a partner direct. Shadow dropped, it was not released today, but
yeah, this is published by Nintendo, so like
it is. It is published by Nintendo. That's what I was saying.
I think I heard that in a podcast earlier today. So like it's effectively like the one Nintendo game in this direct is like
You heard me
Endless
just
Ocean.
say this, right? And then
Did you say that?
I just asked, and then
Oh,
now
yeah.
you're trying.
Yeah.
Too much alcohol for James.
Sippy sip.
Sip, sip, sip.
No, but it looks fun. It looks like a super chill game. It would be fun to get people online just to like mess around, get on Discord and talk while we explore our own ocean.
Did you say how many species there are?
I did not. How many are there?
There's apparently 500 different species of marine life. Some extinct, some
Ooh.
mythical.
Oh my gosh. I hope I get to see something really cool.
Killer.
The Demigorgon.
Oh, you took a left at the wrong coral, and all of a sudden you're in the upside down.
Oh man, games are getting cool. This game took a real weird turn.
What happened?
Game deletes itself and downloads a Stranger Things game.
Oh no! Now we're talking about like a AI post-apocalyptic like nightmare.
It's terrifying. I just wanted to play Endless Ocean.
So rough.
No,
Oh,
it
man.
looks pretty cool. Like a cozy game in the weirdest underwater way.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to giving it a try. I hope it gets a physical release because
I'm sure
I
it
know
will.
it's going to be $50 at launch, and I don't see myself paying $50 for a digital game.
I'm
because
sure it'll.
I still haven't bought Alan Wake 2 because it's full price digitally.
If it's a Nintendo published game, like what are the odds it doesn't get a physical? I'd be shocked.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, they have published in it.
But so that's it. That wrapped up this direct. So guys, if any? Well, James already bought at least one of them, but let's start with Jarret. What games, if any, do you plan on getting for that was announced in this direct, or would you think about getting because they looked cool to you once you know more?
If I know more about pennies, see how it runs. Let's get that 90s love and vibe right there.
Hmm?
And then if Battlefront runs well, just because that's been a very, very long time.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm definitely right there. Pennies is on my list of things I'm going to get eventually. I'm not sure if I'd buy it on Switch or on PlayStation, but I do want to play it. Battlefront Collection is a must. I used to love it, and I look forward to trying to play it online with friends. Like I mentioned, Unicorn Overlord is a game that I see myself playing eventually, but I don't think I'll play it at launch.
Mm-hmm.
Pepper Grinder, though, is 100%.
Yep.
I'm really excited for that game. I think it looks
Nice.
great. I don't think it looks great. It played great. The demo was fantastic. And Pocket Card Jockey, I'll probably get eventually once I feel the itch to play it. I haven't bought it yet, but I have it on 3DS, but I want to play it online because I think that would be fun. So,
Yep, for sure.
And James, what about you?
Ender Magnolia kind of piqued my interest. Any good Metroidvania always makes me happy. That's why I like what's it called? The new not Assassin's Creed, but
Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia game is like on my short list of games I'm going to play
It's
soon.
good.
And I heard you liked it, so like that helps me more want to play it. A Ranger piqued my interest. I don't know. Star Wars Battlefront feels like a given, like a lock. I don't know. I just don't know what platform I'll be playing it on. Monkey Ball for the party game aspect and just like nostalgia because Monkey Ball is just cute and fun. Fantasy Life is a lock. That's a lock. That's a lock. That's like the one game I'm like done.
Nothing
Other
will
than
talk you out
Pocket
of it.
Card Jockey.
Yeah.
Even if it's not RTS?
Even if it's especially if it's an RTS.
I should have mentioned Fantasy Life too. I definitely intend to get that.
Yeah. And then Pentiment. Like I already intended to play and just haven't.
So now you can wait a year to get it from Limited Run. Play it then.
There you go.
I know it would be like a year from now too, right? I don't know. It's pretty hard to turn down the draw of physical if it's an option, frankly.
Yeah, I agree.
Endless Ocean too. Like I think it could be a game that like kind of like catches me off guard, but I'm not sure.
Endless Ocean is 100% a what's the word? Not a peer pressure buy. What do they call it? Like when you drink just when you're around people, like a
Social?
Yeah, like it's that's the word, social. Yeah, I can see myself if enough people get it. I can see myself getting it literally just to play with other people, and then I'd probably enjoy the experience of it too. But I think that would be the biggest thing, seeing how many people actually follow through with getting it, and then who wants to actually play it. But overall, what would you guys rate this direct out of 10?
Ooh, good question.
I didn't tell you guys to prepare for that, so you're
It's
throwing up numbers.
Partner direct, like so. I feel like I come in with lower expectations, anyways. I'd say like a solid 7. That's what I would give it.
7 is exactly what I was going to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really good stuff. Lots of new announcements, but as far as like, I think it was missing something to just take it over the edge. The sizzle reel kind of felt a little sizzly. it didn't
Extra
burn.
Well,
sizzly.
you didn't know it at the time, but Pentiment, like, it closed that sizzle reel with a bang. man.
Now I know.
Oh, now we know.
But I don't know. Maybe like 7.5.
Yeah.
Just because there is some good stuff. Fantasy Life and
Yeah, that's true.
and Pocket Card Jockey were
Yeah,
big.
that's
Pepper
true.
Grinder was good. There's a lot of stuff.
That's true.
So yeah,
I already
maybe more
have
like a
lower
7.5 to 8.
expectations for partner directs, so like maybe even 8, but like I'm just gonna stick with 7 because I like it better as a number.
Well, it is perfect.
Say
So.
lucky number 7.
Okay.
So this leads me to this. So we know what was announced.
serious, boys.
We have to address this now. Let's talk about what wasn't announced, which was really big news, like almost equally big as news, at least on like Twitter and in on the socials. Like while we're watching this on Pacific time, our time, in Japan, they were getting Mother 3. Like, Chris, you're the biggest Mother fan I know. You grew up loving Earthbound, and you know I'm sure you'd play Mother. Maybe you've already played a fan translation of Mother 3. I'm not sure, but how does this make you feel that Japan got it?
Not surprised. So I 100%. I have everything I've ever read is that the tomato translation for Mother 3 is perfect, because that is the same person who did like the English translation for like Metal Gear Solid and like other stuff. He, I believe it's he is good at what he has done. I know for a fact I should just play that game on an emulator with that patch. It's stupid that I haven't, but I can't get past the fact that I want to play it on a Nintendo device. And as I know I'm never going to play it on Game Boy Advance at this point, but I want to play it on an official. I think it's more of like a, not a pride thing, but like a, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm putting my foot in the ground because I really want to play it. I want Nintendo to just release the dang game.
You're being stubborn.
I'm being stubborn.
You're
I'm being
stubborn.
super stubborn because I want Nintendo to release the game here in English. Literally, they could just the tomato has even said like, take my translation, use it. I'm free. He has literally
Yeah.
said it. Use it free, and just give this game.
Yeah.
Release this game in America. You don't have to give me a penny. Like he has said it. He has offered it to him, and they've still never done it. It is ridiculous to me.
It's
like,
mind-boggling. Even like you saw today, Jaden shared that the tweet that Toei responded to somebody who was like, "Can we please get this in English?" And he's like, "Don't look at me, look at Nintendo."
Yeah.
So like,
he doesn't have anything to do with it anymore.
what is that? Like that tells me one of two things. Like either Nintendo's responsible solely for the fact we don't have it yet, or like, I don't know, like, or he's just really annoyed that people are like texting him on socials over and over again, like, why don't we got this game yet? You know, like that could be it too, but it's frustrating.
I don't know, man. Yeah, at some point, if it doesn't come here, I need to play the game. A lot of people who love Earthbound or Mother 2 like this game even more. So like it is dumb that I haven't played it. I am the first person to admit that I'm just being stubborn and I just want to play it the way I want to play it. But I don't know. I think if we get to the end of the Switch's life cycle and it's still not, now that they've gotten in Japan and they still don't bring it over here at some point, I'm gonna have to just give up and play it.
You have to
Give in.
I feel like it's just it is just I want them to just give it to us. Like we shouldn't have to download an emulator and a patch to translate the game. At this point, there's no reason that they haven't given it to us.
Yeah.
We've been begging for years. But I mean, it's cool that they got it in Japan.
not that they needed it.
Yeah, they
Man,
could already had it, but
I'm sick of these mother-hating snakes on this mother-hating Switch.
Samuel L. Yeah, but I don't know. I hope that, to me, I'm trying to be hopeful that it's a sign that that's just the first step. Now it's in the ethers of the Switch. All they just have to do is patch an English patch over it and toss it our way.
Just toss it.
But that's not how things work.
It'll happen.
One day. I'll play it one day.
It'll happen when we have the Switch 7.
Oh, yes.
2055.
I'm laying on my deathbed. Oh, mother. Your mom's been dead for... No, Mother 3.
Your mother definitely loved you, Chris.
No. Give me my my Switch 7. Oh man.
All right then. So finally, I mean, we have to talk about this because this is kind of a direct themed episode, anyways. Pokemon Presents. Pokemon Day is coming up on Tuesday, 2/27/2024, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. What do you expect to happen, and what do you want to happen?
It's the Pokemon company. I don't expect anything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They literally throw me for a loop 90% of the time they do something. So, What do I want to happen? I'm in the weird camp where I honestly would really like a Let's Go Johto / Togepi, whatever they want to call it. We talked about this a little bit the other day on Discord, but I liked Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Like, I liked the back to basics gameplay. I liked how it felt like a really nice looking version of Blue and Red. But once again, very basic. But I had a lot of fun when we did a tournament with Let's Go. Yeah. I thought it was a blast. It was you didn't have to worry about hold items, didn't have to worry about nothing. It was super simple.
All you had to worry about was Melmetal.
Well, that was he should have been banned.
That guy's busted.
But so yeah, Let's Go, whatever they want to call it, Let's Go Johto, I would play and I'd be excited for. Okay. I think the obvious thing, and I know I'm stealing this out from under you, but would be a black and white remake of some kind.
No, that's okay.
But I don't want it if they're going to do a Diamond and Pearl style remake. I want effort put into it. I'd rather wait a couple more years than.
Yes. And
Diamond and Pearl were fine, but I don't have a lot of love for those games anyway, so it was a fine way to play them, and I was content with it. But if I was a big fan, I would not have been. And Black and White, I'm a big fan of, so I don't want a crappy remake, a mediocre, low effort remake.
That's fair. Jerry Bear, what do you think?
It realistically is going to be probably like a Let's Go Johto or something on those lines. Though I love like another Legend style game. Just like expanded upon that more. That was such a breath of fresh air. Like I would definitely love exploring that concept again.
Yeah,
I'd be all right with that too.
I agree. More than Let's Go. I mean, yeah, like I obviously, yeah, I'll eat anything. I'll consume any Pokemon content they give me because that's the kind of sick person I am. But one thing that I thought was really interesting is that I had to look this up because I was like, what are the odds that we're going to get an Ilka? This is generally the year where we get a remake,
Yeah.
Like the year before the next generation generally comes and they're in the Pokemon cycle. But Ilka's last game that they finished was One Piece Odyssey, and it released in January of 2023. So last year, January. And since then, they've also released Pokemon Sleep because they're the ones that are responsible for Pokemon Home, which is always ongoing and being patched with new Pokedex entries and stuff. Pokemon Sleep as of I guess earlier 2023, but then right before that would have been One Piece Odyssey. So like I'm not even sure if by Ilka standards and like in quotes low effort remakes is 2 years enough to get like a low effort remake of Black and White done. I'm not sure.
If they've only been working on it for 2 years, I don't think so. But if they've been working on it longer, maybe.
Yeah, I guess who knows how big the development team is or not. What I think is most likely is I'm kind of siding with you guys. I think a Let's Go is probably the most likely thing.
I feel like that's like the likely. I would love like a Legend Celebi where it's like what happened to the tower. Like you get to see what happened.
That would be cool. Yeah, I would want that more than a Let's Go.
That'd be really cool. I mean, I would love that, but I feel like it's going to be a Let's Go.
Yeah, I think Let's Go is more likely than a Legends. Like we already got Scarlet and Violet like just over a year ago. I just don't see it. I don't think there's been enough time for Legends, and we're definitely not. I don't know what we're getting.
We got Legends less than 2 years after Sword and Shield, right? And just 2 months later than we got the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
It was,
and then the end of that same year we got Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, that was obviously the cadence was too frequent.
Yeah.
Once Scarlet and Violet came out, we had some issues.
I just thought something though, and what I think my number one thing that I would want if they did it right for any Pokemon release would be a new Coliseum. So the sequel to Coliseum XD Gale of Darkness, an actual fully fledged RPG story, which is what Black and White almost was, but in the Pokemon format.
Sure.
But yeah, XD Gale of Darkness, love it. It's a fantastic game.
What I love about it is the focus on doubles. I think that's the thing that really sells me.
I think like even just the story and like the way you traverse everything felt it was so much just JRPG, and I kind of liked that they brought. It wasn't trying to be one of the one of the standard mobile games. It brought everything down to a smaller scale as far as how many Pokemon you had, how you even accessed some of them, and focused on the story and the route that you get to the end.
Yeah.
And I would like that. Obviously it should be bigger now because it's been 20 years since either of those games came out. But that would be, if they did something along those lines, I would be ecstatic, but I don't expect it.
I'm changing my mind. What I think is most likely to happen is that Pokemon NSO like re-releases like gold, silver, crystal, and that is how it's represented. And Ilka makes a BDSP quality black and white one. That's what I think is most likely to happen, and will make me like I'll get them, and I'll
But he won't be happy about it.
I'll buy it and I'll say I like it. But what I really want is I want Gen 5
Please,
to get
sir,
some.
can I have some more?
I want Gen 5 to get some. I want Gen 5 to get some proper loving, man. Some proper loving. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
Darmanitan does too.
He sure does. Anyways, I'm done talking, man.
Well, about time.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. No, I appreciate you bringing those up. We don't really do news anymore, but they are definitely fitting.
It's a newsy time, news-heavy time right now.
And we can always talk news. I just don't. I mean, sometimes by the time we record an episode, it's been long enough where people aren't even thinking about some of the items anymore. And I know that people come here to listen maybe to the specific topics. They're not necessarily here for the news. So, but no, those were very fitting. And we can always bring up news articles if we want to. So. But thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
So, and thanks for joining me here too, guys. Like, it was nice to talk about this Direct. I do hope that in the next handful of months we get another official Nintendo Direct.
We will.
Because it's been a while. When was the last one?
Was it September?
Yeah.
I'm feeling like it might be June-ish if they
E3-ish time.
Yeah, but by
RIP.
now. Yeah.
But, all right. Well, let's go ahead and conclude so you guys can go to bed. It's getting late. This is one of the later episodes. We started a lot later than normal. So, anything else in conclusion?
This was me and Jarret Bear's first team up on the podcast. So, like, if this was like the comic universe, this comic might be worth a lot of money down the line.
It's like Sabretooth and Wolverine teaming up.
Correct.
They don't like each other very much, but sometimes they have to team up.
Despite all appearances, me and Jarret Bear love each other.
It is true. There's too much love sometimes.
What?
what?
And there's that explicit tag again.
Go play all the RTSs you can. That's my final list.
Oh, yes. Go play yourself some Fire Emblem.
That's right. Fire Emblem Pikmin together.
All right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Please do like and subscribe to it's not subscribe, follow the podcast wherever you listen. Spotify, YouTube. Hey, I'm on YouTube now.
Hey.
For anybody who prefers that as their route to listen to podcasts, it's streamable on YouTube. So anyway, yeah, like it, follow it wherever, and then also remember to follow me on Instagram. Come join the Discord if you want to join the conversations. And as always, I appreciate everybody, and remember to always press X to continue.
I've got my eye on you.